Welcome to Rem and Sam. I think we're back. We're live.
We're live. I think it's
Live
my
and running.
computer messing up the screen. Sorry, people. Okay, we're in now.
Okay.
My notifications are on the screen. People are. It's okay. We'll get the strength to go through. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. The notifications don't mean anything.
Don't. Not one bit.
We're back.
We are back. And, yeah, it's been a little bit since we've had Rem and Sam, busy stuff going on my side. But Rem holding it down as always. Make sure you're following our IG, our YouTube. We always got content up there for you with each week stuff. I don't know, Rem. I mean, I'm kind of ready to just jump into it. I think our two teams have actually been some of the most interesting this whole season. I don't know. You already talked about my team, so I guess it's time to talk about yours.
Okay.
Not to tell you I told you so, but I did say the
Where's this
concerns for Anthony Richardson's injuries was going to come up. I knew he was going to get hurt. You never want anyone to get hurt, but you just had a feeling that he wasn't going to protect his body no matter, the greatness of his plays. I mean, Rem, how bad, I guess, going to you, how bad does the injury look? How concerned are you for the future of this team? Like, what's going on?
The reports that they were saying today about the injury specifically, I think, was what I saw was like it was like a deep hip bruise. So long term, hopefully it's not anything crazy. Obviously, just Anthony Richardson getting banged up. Basically, anytime he moves outside the pocket is not good, Pogs. But it does seem like they're gonna at least give him a shot at trying to play this week. And I was just talking to some other people the other day about this too, and they were like, hey, I don't know, Rem, like Anthony Richardson, is it time to start getting worried? And it's like, one, the guy has played like 6 games in his professional career, so maybe we do need to give him a little bit more time. There's other quarterbacks I'm willing to do it with too. Caleb Williams, for example. Like, we're 4 games into the Caleb Williams experience. I don't know how heavy the panic needs to be at this point, but I think like we need to give all these guys kind of the same grace a little bit. But I don't know. Was he not like doing okay in that Pittsburgh game? I get he missed some throws.
No, he was playing well.
He still hit some stuff. I don't know. I feel like he's still showing enough flashes for me that, yeah, maybe, we don't honestly need him to be an all-time great quarterback. If we had him an all-time great quarterback in Anthony Richardson, obviously that's amazing, but you need a guy that can win the Super Bowl and, make plays at the end of the game, be clutch, and mentally pull through and be able to just not be afraid against Pat Mahomes and the other top quarterbacks in the league, and to be able to command the team enough to power you guys through to, like a playoff run. And I still think Anthony Richardson is showing enough flashes to, be that someday in the future. But I don't know. Am I just crazy? Am I just like Anthony Richardson brainwashed? I'm starting to think so, because like I'm saying, the people around me are telling me this is true.
Yeah, no, it is. And who's your backup again?
Flacco. We got Flacco.
Flacco, yeah, Joe Flacco. So he did take the Browns to the playoffs last year, which helped him out. And right now Richardson's status is unclear. But I mean,
yeah.
You guys have questions, yeah, but you have other questions outside of there with Kenny Moore, Kwity Paye, some of the better players on your defense, and now Jonathan Taylor also out against division rivals Jags this week. I mean, that's. I don't know. Obviously, we don't want to ring any long-term alarm bells. Right now, I mean, it's pretty scary for your team how many people are injured. But, I mean, I guess with Anthony Richardson, it's just we've seen him injured so many times last year in such few games. That's like, is this just kind of who he's going to be? And if he's getting hurt with these hits earlier on, what's going to happen later in the season if you guys even make the playoffs? You guys are even good enough to make the playoffs. It's tough. Availability is the best ability when everything else is there.
I mean, how am I supposed to view that? Like, how are we actually supposed to view that as fans? Because, I mean, you watch some, like, is Jaden Daniels not getting crushed? I mean, I guess they're getting the ball out quick. They're getting some stuff. But, other quarterbacks in the league do take hits when they're running and stuff. And I get that.
But they don't go out the game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So is it just like,
I don't know.
Is it just he's got like a Derrick Rose body type thing?
I mean, he might be that athletic that, like, he might be going so fast when he gets, it's unstoppable force, a movable object.
That's
type of thing. I
interesting
don't
too,
know.
because Derrick Rose, if we're making the same comp, he was another just freak athlete.
Yeah.
Obviously, different body types. Anthony Richardson's built bigger a little bit, but well, I guess Derrick Rose is how tall? 6'3". Anthony Richardson's probably like 6'3". So yeah, it might
Also,
well be,
shout out to Derrick Rose for retiring. He just retired.
Yeah, hanging up the cleats.
Great career.
Shout out.
Great couple seasons there. Might probably be the first MVP to not get into the Hall of Fame.
Why would they not put Derrick Rose in if they put everybody else in?
Derrick Rose, you're making the argument for Derrick Rose the Hall of Fame.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, can we talk about it? Everybody's just writing him off for the Hall of Fame, but I don't know. Is there worse basketball players than Derrick Rose in the Hall of Fame?
I don't. Not worse, but had worse careers. I don't think so.
Can we pull up the Derrick Rose numbers quick?
Another thing.
How short was the run?
Get the TikTok camera on. Derrick Rose's career is the epitome of why LeBron James is so great. He was getting so many MVPs, playing so well that they were just sick. Exactly. They're sick of giving him another MVP that they gave it to someone else who did deserve it, but obviously wasn't a better player, but did deserve it. So they were just so sick of praising LeBron that they decided to give Derrick Rose MVP that year because, LeBron is just continued to be on another level. So,
well, the other part of LeBron's greatness is that was in, 2011? And people were, like you're saying, sick of him by 2011. He was almost a decade into his career, and that was almost 15 years ago, and he just scored 25 points a game this year.
Oh, gosh. With his son.
Yeah,
That's
he just
funny.
did a press conference with his son, and they're on the same team.
He just made his own teammate. He's making his teammates, literally.
His son's cooking him in practice.
Jeez. Talking about JJ Redick, but
okay, Derrick Rose, 3 All-Stars, obviously won the MVP, so he made 1 All-NBA team. Can you make the Hall of Fame on 1 All-NBA team?
Nah. Just burn it down to that point. Jeez.
You can't put him in as like a. I don't know. I don't know. Is the league MVP is not just like an automatic qualifier? I'm just talking it out.
It used to be.
I believe it.
It used to be because they used to have back it up. Like, it would be a gradual incline and then, a gradual decline in level of play. But he just, he got hurt and he never got better. And never to that level. And it was just yikes. But I guess quickly putting a bow in your Colts thing. You guys did go up 17-0 against Pittsburgh, undefeated team, beat them eventually. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys are all right. Right now, Trevor Lawrence looks like, some backup quarterback. I think aren't Jaguars 0-3? They're one of the few winless teams.
0-4, yeah.
0-4, so maybe you guys are just fine. But
yeah, who's all the winless
Anthony
team
Richardson
right now?
is concerning. Let's pull it up.
Definitely the Jags. Is there anybody?
Yeah, should we guess?
The Giants.
Should we remember?
Do the Giants have a win?
The Giants.
They beat the Browns.
I thought they got one. Yeah, I think they got one.
The Browns.
It's just funny because it's you can do as many projections preseason as you want, but because I think most people had the Jaguars double digit, like maybe close to double digit wins.
I don't know. That seemed pretty optimistic. They lost a lot of guys.
More than 0-3.
So playing well down the stretch last year.
The Jags right now the only winless team in the league.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't think of another one. So yeah.
Yeah. They played the Dolphins, barely got beaten by the Browns, and then the Bills destroyed them, and the Texans beat them this past week. So. And as for teams that haven't lost yet, it's the Chiefs.
And the Vikings.
Lots of 3-1s team. Yeah, and the Vikings. With MVP Darnold. I guess that was another thing we want to talk about. I think we talked about it already. Darnold having a team around him. And doing it up against the biggest stage. Jordan Love did throw 3 picks. But are you starting to believe that Darnold can be like a legitimate top 10 quarterback in this league? Like, could he be like one of the better starters in the league. I don't know. Is he the best quarterback right now in the division? I mean, Jared Goff is having an off year.
Well, Jared Goff did look pretty good on Monday night. He did go like 18 for 18.
Yeah. Oh, he did go perfect. Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's see how
yeah,
I didn't forget.
He's definitely back in the mix, but I think Darnold's been better start to finish anyways. Pause.
I guess who in the NFC would you have over Darnold? Sorry to interrupt, but who in the NFC?
Like if we were just doing
Purdy?
If I was just taking a guy from my team, well,
yeah.
Let me think. That's tough because then it's like, well, what team am I putting him on? If I'm just putting him on the Colts, like say the Richardson thing, the hip thing is like bad, and he has to go out for the rest of the year for some reason, and they just get to pick a quarterback. Like, you know, would you still rather just take your chances with Jordan Love because, you know, we did see him in that playoff game, and you know there is the hypothetical there. But with the way he's playing right now, and like you're saying, Purdy is playing amazing. Goff was awesome last year, so we kind of had to give him the benefit of the
Stafford.
Stafford 100%. I would take Stafford over all those guys. Stafford would be my number one quarterback out of the NFC, no doubt.
Darnold or Hurts? I know. It's a legitimate question now.
The only reason I sighed is because I know the answer, and it's a sad answer, and I don't – well, can I give a definite answer 4 games into a good Sam Darnold's experience? Like, Jalen Hurts took a team to a Super Bowl. Do I just have to write Jalen Hurts off now? But, I mean, Sam Darnold is – if you're asking me who's playing better right now, objectively, Sam Darnold's playing better.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the team Hurts had. Like, he had the best center in football, and they're literally pushing him over the line. They still have a really good line. They had A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams. Like, they had a really good team. It's not like, you know, I'm not saying he didn't get there. Like, he isn't extremely talented, but it's not like he was carrying the team, you know.
So what would O'Connell do with Hurts? If we flip Darnold and Hurts?
There'd be a lot more running, I feel like.
Is that a major improvement? I mean, I guess you can't really, like, play much. Like, Darnold's lighting it up offensively, but...
Yeah. I don't know. And when I'm watching these are, like, pretty simple concepts. Like, O'Connell is from the, Shanahan
Sam's like,
tree.
this is basic football 101, right?
Mike Shanahan. And it's like Madden, you know? It's not like he's doing, like, insane stuff right now. Or he's, like, you know, running around. They just simplify the game, and, I don't know. I mean, is Jordan Love getting back healthy? Like, I mean, 3 picks in a game is never good. Like, and it can't. I mean, like the first one was definitely not the receiver's fault. I don't know. I'm just saying, Donald right now looks really good, and it's a talent that me and Stephen A. saw since college that he just needed.
Is Stephen A. also a Sam Darnold guy?
Yeah, you remember he loved Darnold. Him and I love Darnold.
And the other thing with Darnold is I was looking at his interception percentage this year.
Yeah.
And he's at 2.8%, so he's kind of in the middle of the league. But for his career, he's at 3.1. So obviously
Who's the interception percentage?
For what, sorry?
Darnold's,
yeah, 3.1. And this year he's
playing on the Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, and this year he's down to 2.8. So it's like obviously it's a little bit better, but he's still kind of the same player. So in a way that's almost a little encouraging, right? That's like in a good system. Like in a good system anyways, you know, you can get good production out of him, which was always the hope with them anyways, right?
I mean, some people are saying, like, it's because of the coaching, like the foundation of coaching you got from Shanahan. I don't know, whatever it was, but maybe there was. And then now going to O'Connell, who's the same coaching tree. And we've seen the talent that they've been able to develop at the quarterback with Kirk Cousins' season last year. You know, Brock Purdy, like really getting the best out of the last pick in the draft of his draft. You know, so being able to develop players at the quarterback position has been something that they've shown. You know, Trey Lance is probably one of the few exceptions. But, I mean, you know, the Vikings were up like 21-0 on the Packers, you know. Like, is this in Lambeau? Like, I think this is in Lambeau. So, it's not like, I mean, obviously maybe it was by more, actually. Obviously, the interceptions didn't help, but it can't be all interceptions. Like, there's definitely more to this. Yeah, in Lambeau Field, Minnesota was up 28-0 on the Packers. Like, that has to mean for something.
Well, and I mean, they've been doing that through the first 4 games, though. They did that to the Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Last week, they kind of crushed the Texans, so.
Exactly, like.
And the thing is, I don't even know if Darnold has to be this good. Because the defense is, like, Flores is really maximizing that defense right now.
Yeah.
So, if Darnold even backs off a little bit, like, they have a little bit of wiggle room to play with that offense, because we know that defense is going to be able to get stops. And Flores, he's like Spagnuolo in that those guys just know how to get in, like, they can scheme up pressure, and they know how to call, like, the right coverage and stuff in the fourth quarter and in the big moments, and can really force stops from these offenses. And
yeah.
Again, I don't even know. Darnold, I don't know if he has to score 30 points a game. I think if he was down into, the mid-20s, I think he'd be. I guess, the Packers did storm back a little bit there, but, there's some fourth quarterness to that as well. So, yeah, I don't know, man. The Vikings, Darnold's ceiling right now, it's a little bit different than Case Keenum, because Case Keenum he's not like Sam Darnold in terms of the draft stuff. Like, Case Keenum wasn't the number 3 overall pick in the draft. And, like, Case Keenum wasn't also, like, this good. Like, Darnold is legitimately just playing, like, one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now.
No, he is. And it feels like it's legitimate. Like, it's not like a flash in the pan or, and not like it's a short-lived thing. Like, this is something that feels like it can go throughout the whole season. I mean, obviously, defenses will be watching film, figure stuff out. But, just something we had to shout out, that he's still doing it. I mean, yeah, the Packers came back and made it a close game. I think it ended up 31-28. But, I mean, for a team that has been haunted by the Packers, continue eating them, even last year, to be able to go up that much on the road is something.
Well, I don't know if we're going to do a little pivot here, but
you can pivot.
How aggressive do you get now with the Darnold season being this good? Because Davante Adams is on the trade block. And if you want to push all your chips in and go for a Super Bowl, or, just really go as far as you can in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that like a sneaky Instagram? What's up? Is that like a sneaky
shout out
Davante Adams team? Minnesota?
I think they kind of got what they need. They definitely got, Addison, Hawkinson, and Jefferson, all the sons. That's plenty.
But do you think maybe, let's say, another player that comes available, like, is this a team that should get aggressive for another piece or two and try to, again, like, actually push their chips in here a little bit and go for something? Because they're the number 1 team. Like, just saying, they're the last undefeated team in the NFC.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't for them, just because you can. Darnold's younger-ish, like, what is he, 28, 29? So you could probably keep all that draft capital and stuff for drafting to shore up your defense next season.
Darnold's 20.
Yeah, he's 27, so he's pretty young. So, yeah, shore up that draft capital,
And they're gonna get more draft capital when they trade McCarthy.
You think they're gonna trade him?
Well, what do? Do you go with the...
Now they have time to develop him. They have time to develop him, keep him around. He definitely feels like someone who needs a couple of years.
So he could be like a Jordan Love, where he's on the bench for multiple seasons?
Yeah.
Being mentored by Sam
He definitely
Darnold?
feels like a weird guy. Well, now you have Darnold, who gives you time to let him develop instead of throwing him in the fire.
I guess, like, people, always talk about how Alex Smith did that for Pat Mahomes. Like, Sam Darnold didn't necessarily have the start to the career that, because Alex Smith did turn it around before he got to Kansas City. Like, he had Harbaugh there for a little bit in San Francisco and got his stock back up. But could Sam Darnold have, like, an Alex Smith-like run here at the, end of his 20s and into his early 30s?
Maybe.
And actually be, like, a low-key competitive guy in the playoff? I guess, Alex Smith wasn't, like, necessarily winning playoff games, but You guys were still like a really good regular season team and winning the division
really
every
good.
year and
getting the divisional game. Yeah.
mini powerhouse, anyways.
Yeah, no, racking up those years as division winners. But he could be. But he feels a little bit too young and to be counting him out as someone who still could develop more. I think he still has some left in the tank. In terms of I don't think he's hit his ceiling. Like, it's not Ryan Fitzpatrick or Gardner Minshew. Like, he hasn't had a legitimate team to grow and flourish in, and now we're seeing him in a team like that. And yeah, we could really see him take another step. And I don't really know what the ceiling is for this team. I mean, you have, like we mentioned, Brian Flores. It's always interesting when you have the head coaches go back to be defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators. And it's like you had all this responsibility, and now you're able to get back to what you love, back to, a smaller role, and they can really lock in on it. And that on top of having
such a big advantage too, because yes, they're gonna lock in on the smaller role, but you know that they're gonna bring that knowledge and assistance as a head coach into just the other areas and benefit the team as well. Just having a second head coach on the team, it's like, yeah, that's such a big thing. Like,
no, that's huge.
Even if you're not a head coach, if you have the overqualified coordinator, like the Lions do with Ben Johnson or the Texans do with Bobby Sloak, where it's like, yeah, those guys are a lock to get a job. I mean, that's kind of the same thing. It gives you kind of the same effect. It's just,
yeah.
And Spagnuolo as well for the Chiefs. Like, Spagnuolo is probably at this point deserving. I know the previous head coaching record's a little bit rough, but
I don't know. Spags just feels like he's going to be a coordinator his whole career.
Yeah, he kind of does. I take it back.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where it's like, like Martindale, but he's like actually good.
He called a timeout in a game this
year?
Yeah,
he did.
And the ref just let him do it. So you're right. He might just end up being in Kansas City. I don't know. Do you think Andy Reid talked to him about that after the game?
No, probably. I mean, I thought Bieniemy would never leave, and then you know what happened. It was like, yikes.
Bieniemy bounced. I feel like he's a guy that would bounce around.
Just a little bit.
But he was also trying to be a head coach. Like, he was actually trying to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Versus, like you're saying, Spags maybe doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Plus, this is the best things for his legacy right now. He's just why not ride this Chiefs run out as long as it possibly can go? The three-peat's the obvious thing to go for. Maybe once he gets the three-peat, he'll be more open to leaving. But
yeah, there's probably a lot of other players who would be more open to leaving.
Maybe
Kelsey would retire.
Being with Mahomes in camp every week and watching other quarterbacks, he's like, yeah, there's just no other quarterback that's going to stay on his team. I'm hopeless scheming up a defense.
Feeding families. He's literally feeding families.
He knows.
Do you think Kelsey would retire if he gets a three-peat?
Ooh. Oh, could this be Travis Kelce's farewell season?
Is this it? Low-key, though. They're wearing the T-shirts already.
I think I don't know if we give Travis Kelce credit for his competitiveness. And I think this might be a theme with maybe all of the Chiefs in general. But well, this is a question I was going to ask you. Do you Because, watching, I don't know how much you've been watching the WNBA playoffs at all, but, I've been watching this Aces Liberty series a little bit, and the Aces are in a similar position as you guys, where they're going for the three-peat in the WNBA. They're the back-to-back champion right now. The Liberty have them down 2-0 in the series, and just watching it, they might be the better basketball team, but they clearly have an edge and a chip on their shoulder to them that I don't know if I see it in another NFL team. Do you see an NFL team? Are you not necessarily worried about another team's talent, but is there another team that you look at and go, oh, they're eyeing the Chiefs down and they have us in their sights and they're marking the days and waiting to is there a team that you think is waiting to see the Chiefs in the playoffs?
I think there's definitely the Bengals. They always can't wait to see us.
Bengals are 1-3 right now.
Yeah, I know. How about they get out of their own division? The Texans always feel frisky. The Bills are kicking themselves after last year.
But does anybody have that does anybody have that and maybe revenge is not the right way to say it because, you have to get, like, beat to get revenge. But does anybody have that, oh, we're going for the belt kind of vibe to you this year for a team?
Yeah.
Because I guess I did think the Texans would have it a little bit too.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Also, shout out the live. I think I see Billy Buckets here.
Is Billy Buckets in the
Cool.
live?
So,
Shout out Billy
saw
Buckets.
some friends of the pod. We got a little shout out to IT from my girlfriend, Naya. Shout out. Got the sound back on.
Billy Buckets, stay tuned. We'll talk him into Anthony Richardson.
Who knows? Who knows? Is
Billy
he
Buckets
in
is
on
gonna have
Anthony?
to see it. He's gonna have to see it first.
He's in on Anthony Richardson? That's funny.
No, he's out.
Oh, yeah.
I told you, it's just me at this point. I'm telling you.
You're the only one on the island. Like, he's not a bad player. It's just, But I think the Bills are the number one.
I would just ask,
Yeah.
I would ask them, like, hey, you're in on Anthony Richardson, right? And they're like, yeah, I see the talent. Like, obviously, he's a freak athlete, big arm, whatever. But this year, people are like, look at you guy. Your guy's he's 9 passes a game. He leads the league in picks. What's going on?
What's going on? Faking. No, but I do think if I had to pick one team, it's probably the Bills. The Bengals have been the most annoying team to play, but, their floor as a team is just, it always drops. Early season, they always drop, like, a couple early games that they should win. And then they make a run to get into the playoffs. But the Bills are probably the scariest team just because of how close it was. Some of the games last year. I mean, then again, they didn't make the playoffs. CJ Stroud, he's dangerous. But those are probably the two teams I'd be worried about is the Bills and the Texans, who both face off next week.
Whoa,
I saw the thumbnail.
Is that Sunday night? I think that's a Sunday night game, right?
Yeah.
Or no, I think that's the noon game.
Oh, it's noon. It's early. They said get it over with. Promo. No, this game is definitely exciting. I think, the Bills have plenty to prove. And I think right now the contender, the team to beat the Chiefs, that spot is open, especially now, like we mentioned, the Bengals have been bad. The Texans did drop a pretty bad game earlier in the season, right after C.J. Stroud tried to sun Caleb Williams. But, I mean, what have you been thinking of the Bills lately so far this year?
Well, I think both of these teams have been playing a little bit better than people think. And that, that Bills game was pretty ugly last week against the Ravens. Obviously, they couldn't stop the run. But,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. The Texans have been moving the ball pretty consistently this year. I guess they've been settling for field goals maybe a little bit more than you'd want. But
Nico Collins.
Yeah, Nico Collins. The C.J. Stroud-Nico Collins connection is as strong as ever. He's been the best receiver in the league. And I honestly don't know how after last season people would just lock that in. I had him eyed down in fantasy drafts, like, second round. I had to take Nico Collins as early as possible. He's the one thing I did right in fantasy this year was draft Nico Collins. Always take the Michigan guys. It's worth the bet. But,
yeah,
I mean, you can see the legitness in the receiver room. The defense is flying around. They've just gotten themselves in trouble a little bit on offense. And I think once they clean up some stuff, I think they'll – because, I mean, they're still – I feel like they're going backwards a lot on these possessions. But, again, they're still, like, moving the ball down the field. So I think once they just keep in front of the sticks on some of these downs, I think their offense is going to be able to put up even some more points. But they're only like -1 right now to the Bills. And the Bills, I think that Ravens game just got out of hand a little bit more so than the Ravens just went in and dominated them. Again, I know the Ravens really ran the ball on them.
Yeah.
But the Bills also, like, when they're not – it's more just like they start turning the ball over. And I guess that's probably just a byproduct if you have Josh Allen on your team. But – when, like, things are going south is what I'm saying. But
yeah. But, no, I mean, the Texans have been showing, like, some consistency. Like, how their offense is going to look like, especially with Cam Akers at running back. But,
yeah, that's going to be mid.
Yeah, it's going to be mid. Like, he's going to give you 3 yards. If you need 2 yards, he'll give you 3. If you need 5, he'll give you 3. Like, he's going to get you to a certain
Clyde
point.
was like that for a while. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't joke in fantasy. Like, The man just knows how to get 4 yards.
Every time.
There's no hole there and pause, and he somehow gets a couple yards. And then it seems like they got the perfect run play schemed up, and he hits the hole, pause, and then somehow 2 yards. Every time.
Yep. But, yeah, I mean, the lack of scoring against the Jaguars is a little concerning from the Texans last week. I mean, Texans themselves weren't converting a lot of them. But, yeah, I mean, I think CJ, he's already acting like he's an OG of the league. And it's like, okay, how about you win something first? Like, he reminds me of John Morant a little bit. Not quite as bad, not quite egregious. But, yeah, I mean, he definitely has that confidence. Like, I'm up there. I'm one of the, And it's like, all right, well, get to a conference championship first. Like.
And it's just a weird thing to see from him, too, because he seemed like one of those guys that knew how to, and not that he's not navigating things in the right way, but, it is a little strange, again, just year 2 to be like, and, he did say, like, I'm just trying to say nice things to another quarterback, but it's like, I feel like how that's going to be perceived by other people. So, I guess if you want that to be out there, then go ahead and go through with it. But it did seem like he's a guy that was just like, oh, he's always making the right move at every time. And this year they've definitely, again, they've just been a little lethargic. There's been a lot of penalties, a lot of going backwards. So I think once they get locked in, they're going to be really, really talented. But to see that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's just a team I would have thought would have come into the season and been like, we've got to be locked in. We're the Mahomes and the Chiefs are going for the three-peat. They're the team that is on top of the league. We've got to come in as the underdog and try to unseat them. And they're playing like they're on top of the league already. They're playing like the preseason hype was like a something that they can put on their resume.
Exactly, like those wins counted.
Yeah, they're like, no, guys, what are you talking about? We're the team that everybody loved in preseason. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
And I just would have, I'd like to see some, and the Bills I think have overachieved as well too. So maybe I should give them a little more credit, and maybe I'm just talking about the Texans specifically, but I need to see the Texans attack a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know, this season, it feels like players are playing like there was, like, maybe a league or something in the summer, like maybe they're the Olympics or something. It just felt like most offenses have kind of been sluggish. I mean, outside of the Vikings who've been fiery hot, undefeated, like the Chiefs, they've not been quite 100. Like, yeah, they lost Rashee Rice, but even before then, or someone just...
Yeah, there just have been no other offenses. You're like, what's a good offensive right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the Vikings are a really good offense. The Lions, I guess, are turning into that.
The Saints were, and then they, had a bad game. And the Lions were pretty bad earlier in the season.
I think we can count on them, though, to be more consistent going down the stretch. And I think the Niners will find some consistency. It seems like they're going to hit a
what? McCaffrey now has tendonitis in both his legs. Like...
He's a cripple?
It's something. He's out for a while.
But Mason's been good, though. And the thing is, Shanahan can scheme up the run game. The offensive line can block for it. I'm not going to say McCaffrey's... Obviously, I think that's going to matter come playoff time. But just could they be still a double-digit win team in a good offense?
Yeah, that's the question.
I think we'd still have to give Shanahan the benefit of the doubt for that.
And
the other offenses, though, like you're saying, the rest of it is that sluggish football, which is not bad, but it's different when the sluggish football is like turnovers and the offense is not moving down the field versus, the defenses are just being really elite. Like, do you think this is a season where the defenses are just being really elite? Are the defensive coordinators just in their bag and we're not seeing it?
Maybe. I mean, there's been lots of changes. There have been lots of changes. I don't know. I know, like, the Bills, they lost their number one wide receiver. Ain't a wide number one wide receiver, but still, like, transition time. The Chiefs definitely feel like that chemistry hasn't been built yet with all those new wide receivers. Also, Sky Moore is just, he should be cut. I don't know what.
Team?
Yeah. And he like dropped a pass, and Brett Veach like shook his head or something. After
I can't believe he was in the game, honestly.
I know.
I forgot
He's
about
only in
Sam.
because Rasheed Rice is out. He's gonzo.
They had to play him.
I guess.
You
I
can't
don't
trade
know.
for somebody?
That's what the DA talking about, Devontae Adams.
Do you want Adams, though?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess you do.
we need him.
Yeah.
Bad.
I take it back. Are we live?
I don't know what we give. That's a weird thing about NFL superstar trades. It's like, was a third and a fifth too much?
For Adams?
Yeah, I mean, not for Adam.
If you got that in on your Instagram tomorrow, would you feel good about that? A third and a fifth for Adams?
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty good.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it was a horrible trade.
No, I'm thinking you're what, like a. I mean, the previous trade was a first and a second.
Yeah.
So I feel like a second still got, it's still ideally in there somewhere.
Mm.
But if you could pad it a little bit, like, wouldn't you do that if you're the Chiefs? Is the three-peat that important? Would you start going out and trying to get Adams from your division?
No, but I mean, if he's available.
Would the Raiders let you get Adams?
That's the question. That's a real question. Would they do the trade? Oh my gosh, my phone keeps falling.
Are the Instagram people? Do they keep falling over? Do we have so
Yeah,
many people on the
hear
Instagram
slamming.
live that Sam's phone keeps falling over?
I know, it's like so heavy.
There's so many people on the Instagram.
Like, oh my gosh, my phone's like,
Sam's
I gotta take a break.
We have
sliding.
the YouTube too. Don't forget, people.
Yeah, I
Rem
did
and
put
Sam on
that in the. I did put that in the comments. Visit our YouTube for a non-falling stream.
For the pinned comment, it's like an illegal stream. We're gonna get a Stream East partnership soon.
We believe. Can they imagine? That'd be hilarious.
Does Stream East want to dip their toe into the content game? Can we be the first show on Stream East?
Our line is open. Hit up our comments.
Yeah,
Slide in the
Stream
DMs.
East. DM of Stream East.
Jeez. I honestly wonder when like a website's publicized like that, like how does the FBI not just show up at your door?
Well, do we know who this? Do we know, like, can we just type in like Stream East CEO? Like, is it just like out there like that?
Well, I don't think it's a company, but
Yeah, is it? It's
like
not just
developer,
like a business,
whoever's
right?
running it. Yeah,
It's just some guy in a hoodie
probably.
in a warehouse.
Couple codes, some code.
I mean, not that the FBI couldn't track him down, but well, I mean, come on, why does the FBI want to shut down Stream East?
I wonder how many people are actually on those servers.
Didn't
Like-
LeBron get caught on? I think LeBron was on Stream East one time.
What?
Everybody's on Stream East.
No way.
Look up LeBron Stream East. He was on some stream. I mean, it might not have been Stream East, but he was on streaming thing, watching games. Maybe that's the only way he could watch Bronny back in the day.
Oh, awful announcing. Shout out awful announcing there. Stream East is cooked. LeBron uses Stream East.
How long ago was this? I forget. Is there a date?
This was this year, May 25th.
Yeah,
2
so
days
this is
before my
recent.
birthday.
Okay, yeah. Stream East is only it's peaking.
During the finals, I guess.
He was watching the finals on Stream East. Look at that, LeBron, the richest
Yeah, I
athlete
guess it was the
in the world.
person. The person sitting next to him was, but yeah.
Wait, LeBron's
This is
not.
the
I thought
person-
in the picture LeBron was holding the iPad.
No, LeBron isn't holding it, but they gotta blame him for everything.
Oh, I actually I thought in the picture LeBron was holding the iPad.
Yeah, they're worried it would make it taken down like the.
So
wife.
Rich Paul is using Stream East, is what you're saying.
I don't think it was Rich Paul, but it's just someone next to him who he knows. But they had the finals game.
The fact that Rich
Yep.
Paul is dating Adele, I'll just never get over that. Are they still together?
That is Stream East. Oh my gosh. LeBron's not even looking at his screen. Oh, he just looked. Oh, snap.
See, even LeBron is peaking in
Imagine.
Stream East. How does this
Imagine
affect
you're at-
LeBron's legacy?
Your next call with imagine your next call with Adam Silver.
Hey,
Like,
LeBron, we can't be redistributing the rights of the NBA without written consent.
We kind of like are trying to help you and pay you, and we can't pay your ginormous contract without.
The NBA players don't get league pass for being in the league. It doesn't just like come with being
Don't
in the
worry.
league.
No.
You get a league
Oh,
pass
God.
subscription. That feels like
Yikes.
something the union should push for in the next CBA.
Maybe.
Free league pass for every player.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, how do they now have league pass?
I mean, if it was a job, right? If it was like a workplace,
Yeah.
which it is.
Or if your teams, each team is like gonna study film, why wouldn't they want you watching film? Like
That's
watching
true.
the
You
other
probably
teams?
don't need league pass. You probably just have access to all the games.
Like there's
you
some
can watch.
NBA
They don't
secret
need to
thing, but
log into the local broadcast.
yeah, why don't they give him Adam Silver's channel? There's like a TV up in Adam Silver's thing. You can just flip through the games.
Does he have his own angles? Pause.
Probably.
Special Adam Silver cam.
Oh,
Maybe we don't need to look into that. Take down another rich guy.
jeez. Yeah, let's leave him alone.
You start talking about cameras, special
You
angles.
wanna get into some picks?
Pick time?
Pick. Also, shout out to the Jets for being still the Jets. I'm not gonna lie, I drank the Kool-Aid for a bit.
Well, I mean, there were some signs.
Yeah, and then they lost a game where Bo Nix threw for -7 yards in the first half. It's
Wait,
like,
before we do
alright.
picks, I'm gonna mess with my AC quick. 2 seconds.
Okay.
And we're back, people. Sorry you had to see that.
Hey, back. No, it's all good. That's what the blur is for.
Had to get the temperature
Stay
set right.
blurry.
The picks are heating up. We had to turn the AC on. What are we starting with?
I feel like 4 or 5 weeks is a good, point to be at in the season because you're like, you kind of know each team, but you don't know them well enough to be like, okay, this is for sure what's going to happen. So something crazy could happen, but you've seen like footage of each team.
We have enough anyways, a quarter of the season through. I feel like we're at least we're getting a vibe, right? We can sense a vibe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Start seeing their identity.
I was always taught, football season doesn't start till after Thanksgiving, but I mean, I feel like at 4 weeks in, we can at least start to make some conclusions.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And at least, there's been, unfortunately, probably like an injury or two. Things have shaked
Yeah.
up. But, like, I mean,
I mean, the number 1 pick in the fantasy draft won't be back till who knows when.
Yeah, exactly. McCaffrey is a prime example. Like the Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams things, like that's really starting to shape up as well.
Yeah.
Like we're starting to get some draft stuff starting to round into form.
Yeah, showing flashes from Jaden Daniels beating the brakes off of the Cardinals.
The new Mahomes. Are you just glad Jaden Daniels is not in the AFC?
I am glad. I am glad we don't have to deal with him. Because I feel like that'd be a little bit of a headache.
That's true. There's already enough good quarterbacks in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. Especially for us Chiefs. Holy yikes.
Which game are we starting with?
Are we doing... Okay, here we go. Jets, Vikings.
Are we drafting?
Jets,
Are we
Vikings.
going through?
Yeah, we can just go through. If we want to talk longer, we can. But I think a good number of them will blitz through it.
What are we starting with? Which one? Are we?
I was
going
going to start with the London game. Jets at Vikings. I don't know if you have it up on Google, but that's the first one listed, 6:30 in the morning. Are you going to watch this game?
6:30 for you. I guess we get it a little. I think
Yeah, you guys get it 8:30.
for us we'll be chilling. It'll be on.
Yeah.
I'll throw it on. Well, I don't know. The
Ooh-wee.
thing is, Sunday morning is always such a good movie time. Is this gonna
Yeah.
be able to?
Also a great church time. Shout out.
Well, but I guess are you going to early mass?
No, I don't know. No, I might take a look. We'll take a peek.
So you're just
It's just
sleeping. You're sleeping all the way up until you have to go to church, and then you're going in.
I am one of those people that sleeps right up to it and then just goes.
No,
You know,
see,
of
that's what I'm
course,
saying.
cleaning up a little before you go. Can't look a total mess, but
Sunday morning is my. That's when I slide the movies in.
yeah.
Sneak one in before mass.
Mm. Let's see here. Are you going? I mean, I'm assuming you're going with the Vikings. I don't know. Darnold against Rodgers.
I feel like I never pick the international games right,
Yeah, me neither.
and I feel
It's
like
so hard to predict.
yeah, and I don't know. This just feels like a game that the Jets would win just because it's the London game, and we're gonna be up early watching football. It's like everybody's gonna be committed to this game. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
Rodgers is not gonna look great, but he's gonna lead a last-minute drive. I mean, I'm still gonna pick the Vikings because that's what we've watched the last 4 weeks, and that's what I mean, that's obviously the right move, but
Yeah.
something in my gut says that the Jets are gonna win.
Wow.
I always feel like I'm just grossed out by these international games. I'm always disappointed, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe I just have a poor memory though.
No, they're really hard to do well. And I mean, you're playing on a field that's not even a football field. Like, they converted it and stuff. So, and then the jet lag is a real thing, and it's like it's always weird who'll affect it more. It just makes it a lot more unpredictable than a game on U.S. soil.
But at least these are two decent teams. Like I feel like they've
Yeah,
set
they're not bad.
like the Giants in the past. Like didn't the Giants play overseas last year? And it's like,
I think
what are we doing? Why are we, we're trying to grow the game. Why are we sending Daniel Jones? But two, like, this is a prime time game, and I get it's different than Sunday night in terms of maybe the amount of people that are going to be, locked in and able to watch this game. But,
Yeah.
like, I feel like for a one-game slate, you still want to put some decent teams on there, especially on a Sunday.
Yeah, at least try.
So, and, I feel like maybe they were tapping out with this one. They were like, we can just send Sam Darnold and call it a day. But unfortunately, Sam Darnold turned out to be good this year.
No, yeah, it's been great. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I think it'll actually be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if it's high scoring, just because of both teams. But yeah,
High scoring?
we'll have to see.
Like
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna get
think
into
it's high
30s?
scoring. Yeah, I think 30s, low 40s maybe.
Do you think the Jets can be in a high scoring game? Like, do you think Rodgers has some explosive offensive performances in him?
Yeah, I think he could. I still think he has it in there. I think he wouldn't be in the league right now if he couldn't, really take the ceiling off the roof and really bomb it out there. And I think he's going to have a little something to prove against one of his division rivals that, wasn't it like they never beat him at home or something? There's just a couple of records with him and division rivals and a history of him beating them pretty regularly.
With the Vikings? He never beat the He
No,
never beat
like they never beat him. I don't know. I just know he's been consistent in beating his division rivals. So.
Well, maybe London, maybe going overseas will change that. But I guess we'll both take the Vikings for this one.
Yeah. I thought about taking you thought about taking the alternate team. You thought about the Jets. Why could I not remember?
They're the home team.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Maybe this is actually
game.
a good home field for them because they won't get hurt on this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Is this field better than the MetLife field? Safer, maybe.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah, I haven't seen the stats.
I better just knock on wood. I don't want to jinx Rodgers.
Fingers crossed. Panthers at Bears. The Bears lost to the Rams, and then the Bengals beat the Panthers. So two downtrodden teams. Panthers, Bears.
This feels like a game that I don't want to say like a must-win game for the Bears, but
Yeah. Oh, the
like
Bears won last week. Man,
yeah, against the Rams, they beat the Rams, but
I was thinking the wrong game.
if they lose to the Panthers, the problem is like the Panthers with Dalton in there are like kind of a decent team and like a team that could
It's kind of
actually
weird.
yeah, they could actually definitely beat this Bears team and it wouldn't be shocking, but it's also
Yeah.
still the Panthers. So if you were just saying like, you know, week 4 Caleb Williams is going to lose to the Panthers, that you wouldn't be thrilled about that and where his development was at, but again, it's like where we're at right now. It's pretty realistic. So
Yeah.
I'm going to is Billy Bucket still in the chat? Billy, I'm going to pick the
Oh.
Bears.
The Bears. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that top to bottom, I do think the Bears have more weapons. They've really invested a lot in their offense this year. I mean, you know, now that Caleb Williams is there, the Bears they have weapons everywhere. And I don't know, I love Deontay Johnson. I have him in fantasy. Chuba Hubbard started to show up, but yeah, I think I'd go with the Bears as well. Maybe Kid Williams, something clicked or something this past week, but yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have to put up 40 to win, but I think they put up like 30, 35. They should be fine.
Yeah, if they get in that range, they'll be cooking. But
Yeah.
The run game part has been, you know, curious as well too, because I know, you know, there's a lot of reasons why Bryce the Bryce Young experience may not be going the way that you would hope if you're a Carolina fan, but it also does seem like their offensive line is pretty capable as well. Like they are running the ball well, and you know, they're at least holding the fort down enough for Dalton, who's not necessarily like, you wouldn't put him in the mobile quarterback category. You wouldn't say he's like running around back there making plays. Like, you're still going to need to protect him. So, you know, they're still at least holding up for Dalton to be able to do that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not that just like Dalton goes in there and is making the reads and stuff that you'd want a quarterback to make, but you're looking at the rest of the roster now going like, oh man, the offensive line might be like, we were like, they can't block for Bryce Young. The man needs some help. And they've gotten help. You know, there's some health stuff in there as well too, but it's like, you know, maybe that's okay. The defense is like kind of feisty. Like everything is at least in that range where they were like a 6-win team in the over-under going into the season. So, you know, again, it's not like this is going to be like a playoff level team, but this is when Andy Dalton's in there, you see like, oh yeah, this is week to week, like a super feisty team. And again, Andy Dalton's like a more polished NFL quarterback than Caleb Williams is at this point. So in the week to week, like if you need to win a game right now, I mean, I don't know, I'm picking between Dalton and Williams. Like Dalton's might be the guy. So I think that if it's just like a one game scenario, then I would lean the Panthers, but just big picture for the vibe sense, I think I'm gonna go. And the thing is, I can almost pick this game by just picking the Bears defense. Like if I pick the Bears defense and just go that secondary and what they've been able to accomplish with Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson, that might just be enough to be able to stop this Dalton lineup. But I think that is enough against this Panthers team in week 3. So I'm going to go I'm going to go Bears over the Panthers in this game. But the next game on my Google is Colts Jags. I don't know if my Google just knows my algorithm or that's actually the next game on the slate, but am I looking at a different Google? What's the next game on your Google? Oh, my Google's biased. I think I might have them set as my favorite team. Never mind. Well, let's take a quick break and then we'll do some quick fire offs. Okay, we're on a graphic right now. In 3, 2.
Took a little break. Had some live issues. Instagram had to fix it up. Took a little break, but we are back. We are locked in. And
Chat.
Ram, you were saying you had a different game on your Google. You had a who was it?
Yeah, my Google was giving me Colts Jags next
Okay, I guess we can talk about that next.
for the picks. So I don't know if it's out. Is it algorithm based? Does it know I was just searching
I
Anthony
don't
Richardson
know.
like
If it's the same time, maybe.
a couple minutes ago, looking to see if there's updates on the injuries, and that is it. But I saw the Jags were favored in this game for like -3, which again I get the Colts are banged up. Like, you know, Taylor is not even questionable. Taylor's out. Kenny Moore,
Yeah,
the corner's
Taylor's
out. Kwity Paye, the defensive lineman, is out as well too. But again, like we were saying, the Jags are 0-4. Like the Jags are low key, not even low key. The Jags are kind of bad.
Yeah.
And they've had 6 touchdowns on the season, and in game 1 they scored a touchdown in the first quarter, second quarter, no touchdowns in the second half. Game 2, they scored 1 touchdown in game 3, and then last week they scored 2 touchdowns, but one of the touchdowns was off the muff punt that set them up like inside the 5-yard line. So
that was crazy.
You could in the game against Buffalo, they didn't score a touchdown until they were getting killed. So you can make an argument in like the last couple of games they've only had one legitimate, touchdown drive in there. So I get that they're due for a win as Trevor Lawrence, all that, but I don't know. Even if Flacco's in this game, like against the Jags, against the 0-4 Jaguars, are you feeling worse about the Colts with Flacco in there?
Not really. Just because of the kind of quarterback Flacco is. Like Anthony Richardson is he's not nearly as polished. I mean, long term, obviously, it's better to have Anthony back there, but in the short term, like Joe Flacco's a playoff quarterback. Like he's a solid player. Now, without Jonathan Taylor, I do have big concerns for your team. Just not having that strong run game. But if and when homie can return, Jonathan Taylor, I think your team could be still in the playoffs. I mean, especially with how shaky the rest of the division is. The Texans can have a bad game here or there. And then the Titans, Will Levis, it feels like we've been seeing a new meme picture of him every week. He's in some other big blow up mess, so it's very conceivable to see y'all still be in play for the division, if and when Jonathan Taylor gets back.
And even again, if Flacco is in there without Taylor this week, like the run game might be different, but with Flacco, like the short and intermediate pass game is going to be there in a way it might not necessarily be there with Richardson.
Yeah.
So the ball might still be able to navigate down the field in a similar way. And by the way, shout out chat to those who are watching the WNBA playoffs right now. Aces Liberty end of the first quarter. Aces up by 3. The comeback, is it alive? Down 0-2? No team's ever done it. Becky Hammond, can she pull it off for the first time in WNBA history? We'll see if it happens. Asia Wilson's having to step out here and hit 3-pointers just to keep the Aces in the lead. So it's not looking good for any of my favorite teams right now. Like, so
shout out the Lynx though?
Did they get the win?
Yeah,
they
got the win over the Sun.
Got distracted at the end of that game.
90-81, yeah.
I had it on in the background. So they're up 2-1 now.
Collier had a Nafisha,
yeah.
Nafisha, yeah, had a great game. 26, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Led all scores.
Is that series 2-1? Does it say there?
Yeah, 2-1.
Wow.
Isn't it a series to 5, right?
Best of 5. So if the Link win the next one, they're in the WNBA finals. That's crazy.
Wow.
The Sun, Dejanay.
You know who called it?
Who called it?
Friend of the podcast, Lou.
Whoa!
He definitely has the Lynx in the. I think he said maybe winning. I don't know, but he had them in the finals. So Shout out, Lou. I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I'm surprised they were down at all.
Wow, I wish he would have linked us up with that pick beforehand so we
I
could have bet
know.
on it.
I know. Maybe a couple dollars. Still time. They
Do we
could
need
still
to
win
get Lou
it.
back?
Oh,
A little WNBA talk?
I know.
Lou,
We
call
might
in.
have to, yeah, we'll have to get our booker.
IT, get Lou on the
Booker over
phone.
there. Yeah. But yeah, back to NFL. We'll see. I mean, obviously this game is huge for divisional purposes, winning the division. Because I mean, I don't know. I guess the Texans should be the ones to. I mean, I'd be shocked if the Texans did not win your division. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, would you be shocked?
I mean, that would. Well, I don't know if I'd be shocked because I'm just unrealistic about the Colts, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the
No way,
Texans
no
are the
shot.
prohibitive favorite.
That's crazy.
So no, I guess.
At least he's self-aware.
So I guess for me, yeah, if the Texans, I guess it would for me that would mean because I don't know if it would be the Colts or the offensive, or they're just like a regular season juggernaut, and they're gonna win like 14 games, and the Texans are still gonna be a 12-win team, and it's like just not enough. Like to me, that's like the Texans are like an 8 or a 9-win team. So that would be shocking to me. But yeah, I guess if there's a version where the Colts just rip off 13 in a row here, and they're both powerhouse teams, and the Texans just don't win enough games, then I guess it is what it is. But
it is what it is.
in that scenario, it would be shocking. But what do I need to What do I need to watch for coming up here on the Richardson timeline in terms of like putting the bias aside and like, hey, these are the things that are actually like you need to like these need to be concerning like long term. Like how many weeks do I need to give it? Like again, do I actually
injuries like him out?
Do I need to start like actually reconsidering some things? It's only like 6 or 7 games.
Probably. That's the problem. Through 2 years, if he misses a majority of the games this year again, I do think
he's like, why don't we see that the same? He's like,
exactly.
You see it 7 games, and he's like, no, but he's missed the other.
Yeah, exactly.
17.
That's not okay. Yeah, so if he's out a majority of the season again this year, like I think it's time to start asking questions.
But can he stay like this? He can't stay like this as a passer either, right? Like he definitely needs to like get better in some of the intermediate stuff. And I think a lot.
Well, he has to play to get better. Yeah, I mean he has to actually get out there and get reps to get really better, and he's obviously him being hurt, he won't be doing that.
Well, he hasn't mouthed. I didn't even see him.
Yeah.
After an interception yet, like Will Levis.
Will
Do we need to blind power rank Will Levis memes?
I don't know. Do we need to power rank the photos?
Let me pull the photos back up because I'm kind of the first one's obviously burned in my brain, and the second one too. But I'm kind of foggy on the other ones. And he definitely had a fourth one.
Oh, I thought that was just the third one. I don't know.
He didn't go 4 for 4?
Maybe he went 4 for 4.
Oh yeah, our friends over at Ghetto Gronk are locked in on it.
Shout out.
Ghetto Gronk.
A really reputable
really, yeah, one of the few good sources of NFL journalism, Ghetto Gronk.
Only place I get all my info from.
So there's the interception of the Bears in week 1, the shuffle pass for the Jets in week 2. There's Lucas Van Ness. There's the fumble against the Packers where Lucas Van Ness is, his van.
whoa.
His Van Nessels and on Will Levis's head. And then him just like crying against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
This is like a pretty aggressive crying face for our boy Will Levis. This is not good. And our guy Will Levis is known to be emotional on the sideline from time to time, but this is deep emotion. This is great.
Speaking of
follow the Rem and Sam playlist over over on Spotify because this will be the new cover photo for it.
That's funny.
This Will Levis crying face. It's hilarious.
And speaking of the Dolphins, who have not led at all this year, they're playing the Pats. I think. Oh, there you go. He's crying it down. They're playing the Pats at home or on the road. They're going to New England to play the Pats. Their quarterback, Tua's still obviously not back. Is Skylar Thompson hurt? Are they down to their third string?
Huntley.
It's Huntley. Tyler Huntley getting his another chance to start.
Did they bench him? Let me see if Tyler Huntley's still starting.
Who else do they have?
That's what I'm saying. I can't think of anybody else, but we're as pro Tyler Huntley as it gets. It was not looking good.
No, we are. We were talking about Tyler Huntley for less than $1 million over.
And I'm gonna be honest, one bad game against the Pats, he can't get a win.
So now that
the Pats are favored.
Now that it's pretty obvious, it'll be a while since the Dolphins aren't getting Tua. Do you want to say now that the Dolphins aren't making the playoffs? Because this game, I don't even know what to pick. who are you even picking this game?
I'm riding with our boy Huntley.
Okay.
We're not picking against Tyler Huntley. Not on the Rem and Sam pod.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear it from us. But do you think Mike McDaniels is going to be there post Tua? However long that is?
That's a good question. I think so. I don't know. I think they'll get rid of Tua, be really bad for a season and tank, and then get a new coach. And Mike McDaniel will be a OC somewhere, or,
and then get rid of him after the 2 and whatever season.
Yeah.
2-14 season. Get the number 1 pick, clean house, get the new guy.
Because his whole act probably is getting boring.
Have they made the playoffs with him?
Yeah, we beat them.
They didn't win a game. They haven't won a playoff game
in Kansas City. I want to say because that was a home game. I want to say they won last year.
Has he won double-digit games in a season? Definitely.
And that was with Skylar Thompson. Yeah, not to interrupt, but that was with Skylar Thompson last year.
Oh yeah, last year they were 11-6.
Was that the Ravens against? No, it wasn't. That was that last game of the season. That was the Ravens against the.
No, that was the wild card game because you guys were the 2 seed. Yeah, the Ravens were the 1 seed.
Oh, that was a wild card. Oh. Nice.
So they did make the playoff both years, but they've lost in the wild card both times.
Wow, that's crazy. They have not won a playoff game.
I don't know. Making it there. The quarterback's been hurt both times they've gotten there as well. That's not really Mike McDaniel's fault. Maybe I need to reconsider. Chelsea Gray!
Jeez.
New York.
We'll see. I don't know.
New York got the lead again, but the Vase is this is for the series right here. The Liberty are going to sweep the Ace if they win this one.
Yeah.
This is not good. The Ace just need to get this one for pride at least.
At least one.
Come on.
Yeah, Asia Wilson talking all this smack. Unanimous.
I know. She's on the Jokic path right now.
Yeah. Maybe she can get some tips from Bam.
Well, I think she is already, but some basketball advice, you're saying?
Hey, yo, pause.
Are we live? Cut that out.
Oh, jeez. Next game, we got Panthers visiting the Bears. The Bears looked good last week. Beat the Rams at home. Stafford had been on a run, even though they were 1-2. I don't know. Now the Rams are 1-3. But yeah, I don't know. Are you seeing it? Shout out Ron Russillo. He's now a Bears fan.
Russillo's a Bears fan?
Yeah, it's some weird stick he's doing now.
He's a Caleb Williams guy.
Yeah, it's a Caleb Williams fan, really, but he's got to say Bears fan. So
is Russillo going to start painting his nails?
That's funny. That's funny.
Russillo, if Caleb Williams makes the playoffs, you have to paint your nails. We'll get in the DMs. Should we email the life advice, Friday feedback?
That's funny. All right, maybe they'll read it. But do you? I mean, I got obviously the Bears winning, but I mean, the Panthers have looked kind of good, like you mentioned under Andy Dalton. You know, the Bears are kind of trying to resurge. Like, will this be low-key a good game? Could this be a barn burner?
No, this is gonna be an ugly game. I don't know, I don't know if Caleb Williams is ready for a barn burner game yet. But if I'm wrong, that's amazing for Bears fans.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, you don't think you think it's gonna be who you have?
No, I take it back. Caleb Williams. Let's be optimistic. Caleb Williams is gonna put up 35 and 400 yards, and this is gonna be the breakout performance. Let's go Bears.
I know it's got to be a breakout performance sometime as a rookie.
If Caleb Williams throws for 400 yards, I'm painting my nails.
Oh, you just heard it live on the pod. 400 yards from Caleb Williams, nails will get painted. Does he have to win too?
I was gonna say Bears colors, but I'll do Colts colors and that's it. Or black.
Do we got to make? Yeah, that's a good middle ground. They're both. I mean, the Browns are like a really dark blue, but
I was gonna say I can't wear them out blue and white, but I don't think I'm gonna wear them out black either. I think it might just be for the bit, and that's it.
So is this the middle ground? I mean, does he have to win too? We could say he has to win.
But the thing is, I guess the thing is, like, he has to win the game is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, the Bears defense and the Bears run game and special, like, it can't just be a sloppy game that they win.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be a
critical 400 yards and a Bears win. You heard this at Caleb Williams, at all Bears fans. If you get 400 yards and win, Rem will paint his nails.
Game ball? If he gets the game ball?
Well, we can't see that. Like, I don't know if we can
get
confirmation.
400 yards in the win?
We might have a Giannis rookie situation here. What's his face? The coach for the Lions gave the game ball to someone else before he realized that Jared Goff had went 18 for 18.
Who did he give it to?
I don't know, but in the press conference he said he gave it to someone else, and then he found out in the press conference that Jared Goff went 18 for 18. He's like, "Oh, I wish I didn't give it away." So we can't go off of that.
Wait, to play devil's advocate real quick and to give Dan Campbell some slack. Like, it's not even 20 passes, you know.
Yeah, but it's the first ever time in NFL history. I think it's like more than 11 or 10 or something.
Is it really? So it's historic.
Yeah, that many, that perfect, yeah.
But if somebody got like 3 sacks or something, or if there's like some rookie getting some first time thing, like what's more important, a first time
NFL history or some player's little personal history? I think NFL history is.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm also taking the Bears at home to beat the Panthers.
Okay, he gave game balls to Jameson Williams, Kirby Joseph, and Ben Johnson. So he's like, Goff gets no credit. It's all the coordinator. It was completely
and the running game.
The scheme and the guys around Goff.
That's funny. Surprised Ross St. Brown didn't get one.
But like Goff, the thing is, like Goff is going for Goff wants like a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I mean, he made it 2 Super Bowl, so yeah, he's trying to win one.
Like, Kirby Joseph, give the man a game ball.
He's tweaking.
He's gotten quite a few though. Kirby Joseph is good.
Browns at Commanders. What are you thinking of Jaden Daniels? He had a pretty good game last week. Showed some running. Showed some other talent. I mean, showed some throwing. Hit some dimes. Have the Commanders found their guy?
Jaden Daniels is the type of quarterback that even if you're like other young quarterback in the draft, like even if Caleb Williams is playing well, like it bums you out that Jaden Daniels is playing as good as he is. Like it's, the bar is
you want him to play bad?
And I mean, this is like the thing with Richardson and Stroud. Like as good as Richardson is, like there's this other just monstrous figure in his class in Stroud where you see the progression for what like a great quarterback can be just right in front of your eyes, like on what should be the same exact timeline. And it's like I'm saying with Caleb Williams earlier, like you got to give the man some slack and some time to develop. It's like with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, like she had a little bit of a adjustment period, and then by the end of the season, you know, she was really finding her groove a little bit, and some of the numbers were really starting to look like, you know, top of the league type stuff, and really locked in the rookie of the year. And, you know, Jaden Daniels might end up being rookie of the year this year, but like the fact that, again, like Caleb Williams could still show some nice signs, and you just have this other great quarterback in your class, it's like, oh man, did we do it again? Did we make the wrong choice again? Because I think it was closer than people wanted to admit around draft time.
Yeah.
Between those two guys. And, you know, Jaden Daniels is a little bit older as well, too. So maybe there's some experience stuff in there as well. But
who knows?
I don't know how you pick Deshaun Watson to beat Jaden Daniels at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how you pick Deshaun Watson to win anything.
I mean, they just did they put up 40 back-to-back weeks? Am I crazy?
Yeah. Let me see. They put up 38, but in 3 of the last 4 weeks, they've scored 37 or more points. Or no, wait, they had the Buccaneers score 37 on them. But they went 20 points week 1, 21 week 2, and then, 38 and 42. So they're just climbing up. They're just going up. Next game, it's going to be 45 or something.
And I mean, they kind of slowed down Kyler Murray last week. Like, they're not going to be able to slow down Deshaun Watson. Like, I get the Commanders' defense is maybe not, like, lock down corners and whatever, but all you got to do is, like, kind of contain. And, you know, it's this is one of the things that is actually easier said than done. But, you know, you just got to kind of contain Deshaun Watson and you'll be fine. Like, he's not really going to be threatening your corners in any way.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. The Browns are one of the better defenses in the league, but
is it a home game for the Browns?
Is it what?
Is it a home game?
No. I think it's in DC. Yeah, it's in DC.
It's in DC?
Yep.
Oh, lock it in, baby. Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders.
Yeah, definitely. Next we got
Deshaun Watson, 2 picks.
Did we already talk about Bills Texans, who we had winning?
We didn't make picks yet.
I'm probably gonna go Texans. I don't know.
I think I'm leaning near the same way as you. Wait, I want to actually take a look real quick at the odds of that Deshaun Watson.
Oh, you want to look at it? Do you think it'll be on BetStamp? Whenever shout out BetStamp, one-stop shop for all your betting needs, betting odds. You can search and go from there.
They don't have the interception odds up yet on FanDuel, but don't look at the interception odds for the Commanders Browns game for Deshaun Watson, because again, the Commanders defense is not that secondary is not going to be known as like legit, so maybe they're not going to get the respect. If you could get plus odds on that, Deshaun Watson might just throw one in general. Are you going to break your phone?
Maybe.
You have a strong case on that?
Yeah, we got shout out Casely. If you want to sponsor, you should.
Do you need to put like a towel on your desk?
I know. I'm like starting to look like, geez, it's getting scratched up a little bit here. It's getting scratched up a little.
IT, send him amount.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely taking the Texans. I think they're a little more explosive in terms of their offense, and I don't know. The Bills are definitely gonna have to win me back. I think Josh Allen's playing out his mind, but yeah, I'm gonna need to see it for a little bit from him before we start really talking about him being same old.
And I feel like the Texans are they're gonna need to prove a point at some point this year.
Yeah.
And this would be a really good game to do it. This is the, kind of the game that everybody's watching, the marquee matchup of the day. Could Stroud kind of get back in the MVP conversation with a win here? And like a really good performance? Maybe those odds will definitely be out. Let's see what Stroud's MVP odds are. Because the Texans just made a run. Because we know that division between the Titans, the Jags, and the Colts. They already beat the Colts once.
Yeah.
You know that there's a couple of easy wins locked in there. And I feel like with the way he's 10-1 right now. He's 4th. FanDuel, they're always one step ahead.
FanDuel.
Goff at 20-1. Do we need to start thinking outside the box?
And this is odds for what?
MVP.
Jared Goff, really?
I'm just trying to make
It's
it
a little
big.
surprising. Well, who's the favorite right now?
Mahomes.
Sam Darnold? Mahomes? Oh, where's Sam Darnold at?
Sam Darnold it goes Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold.
Oh, top 5. Hey, you're looking for value?
12-1. You think it's going to go up for Sam Darnold, the MVP?
I mean, if he keeps this up.
You think Sam Darnold would beat Mahomes for the MVP for the voters?
If he's the only undefeated team and it's like legit, maybe.
But he's not going to be undefeated by the time they're voting for the MVP at the end of the year.
We'll see.
Maybe he is.
I think,
Pull up the schedule. IT.
I don't know. I really can't put him past any team in the league. I don't.
No, honestly,
I don't think.
I'm at the point where, I mean, if he won the MVP, I don't know if I'd be totally surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd pick him to beat Mahomes, but I mean, I guess
12-1 odds though.
Maybe the better way to say it, at this point, I can see the path forming. The path is there for it.
I mean, you throw $5, you get 60 back. Like 12-1 odds. You gotta put a little something on there.
That is crazy. The path for Sam Darnold to win the MVP is actually playing out.
Yeah.
Sam
The
Darnold.
odds are crazy. We'll see.
Sam Darnold was one of the biggest draft busts in history.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Or
a little bit of
Mahomes
reach,
just
but-
get the whole. You could get the whole. You could win it again and then get the whole like MVP regular season and Super Bowl, another one. But anyway, going to Ravens Bengals in Cincy. Ravens last week had a little bit of I think did they take a bye? No, they handled business for once finally against a good team, against the Bills. Headed to Cincinnati, who also just got their first win against the Panthers. I don't know. Is Chase Brown legit? I've been liking what I've seen from Leggett on the Panthers, but
Yeah.
he was there the last week, had a good game. But I'm also, looking back at the Bengals. I have Chase Brown on my team. Should I
know
start
we're both invested in the Chase Brown season. We need him to play well. And the thing is, like you're saying, the Bengals are notoriously known for slow starts to the season. So, I mean, that would make sense that if the offense is not playing well, Chase Brown would not be getting a lot of points. So, I was definitely optimistic from what I saw about how they used him in the red zone. And he's still been in the mix in the first couple of weeks. Again, they just haven't been scoring a lot.
Yeah.
So, or scoring enough anyways. I guess, they still scored a little bit against the Commanders there, but
I don't know. I feel like the Ravens are going to handle business, though. I just feel like
and Derrick Henry is still cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can run on the Bengals. I still don't think that their defense is going to be bad this year.
Yeah.
I still think they'll be a good defense, but they lost DJ Reader to the Lions, the defensive tackle. And again, you can run on them. That seems like a really big loss because the Lions' run defense is really good this year. And again, the common thread between those two teams, the run defense is going up and down, would be DJ Readers. So, they've had, again, some secondary stuff and some definite
DJ Reader,
some definite talent decreases on the defense. But I think their defense will get better. Their offense will continue to cook as it does throughout the season. But I think you're right. I think they're going to lose this game and just unfortunately bury themselves too much of a hole for just like trying to get back into the playoff big picture.
Yeah.
Even though I think week to week they'll still be competitive, but I think they'll just be too far out.
That's crazy, man. It's just teams that
They're going to be 1-4
you think
after
the
this week.
ceiling's so high for.
Do we have to pick the Bengals just because of that? That'll put them at
Maybe.
what, 2-3?
I don't know. Chase Brown's looking crazy right now. I'm watching again. Yeah, they gotta
Jamar
get
Chase had his
Brown
best
more occasion.
touchdown in 2 years last week.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow's one hit away from going out. He's always injury prone. Had an injury every year of his career. That's made him miss time.
Maybe. I think I just talked myself into it. I'm picking the Bengals. I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm
Give
gonna
me Burrow,
take.
baby.
I don't know. I think I might go with the Bengals too.
They can't be 1-4.
Yeah, they can't. Oh, did they lose last week?
They're 1-3 right now.
Oh, 1-4. Oh, yeah, now I get it. I don't know. Just watching this, I think I have to start Chase Brown. This is crazy.
I have to start Chase Brown because of buys. I got Dobbins and Pollard on buys this week.
For me, it's either Chase Brown or Travis Etienne.
This is my running back squad, and I'm playing Drake London. I'm playing against Drake London.
Oh, nice.
So,
oh gosh, yeah, I think I remember you mentioning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Travis Etienne has just been decent. He's been solid, but Chase Brown had 2 touchdowns. Like, I can't not keep him in this game.
But I've got to go Chase Brown as one of my running backs, and then I've got to go with a Jets stack. I'm just playing Breece Hall and Braylon Allen both. Give me all the Jets running back points, which might actually the fact that I'm forced to do that might actually be a good move.
Yeah.
I know it's a bad time to be saying that with
solid
some of the things
move
going out there, but forced into it, I think it's going to work. Except for the fact that Drake London had 33 points.
Quickly going through some pretty mid games. Raiders at Broncos. Maybe Bo Nix has a better game, but I don't know. That's honestly a toss up for me. Probably the Raiders.
You're taking Minshew? Minshew Mania? Let's go
Yeah,
Bo Nix,
Minshew
baby.
over Bo Nix. I don't think that's a hot take.
Bo Nix can win a game with... Bo Nix might be the greatest quarterback of all time. He can win a game with -7 passing yards. Who else can do that?
I think he got some in the second half.
Mahomes? Your boy Mahomes is out here. He has to throw for 5,000 yards every year to try to win. Bo Nix is like, I can literally go backwards and win a game. Screw you guys.
I think he scored. He got some yards near the end of that game. But for most of it, yeah, he was negative yards. Which is just crazy to think.
Negative pass yards.
How that's even possible.
I know, because you can make you're not throwing the ball 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage every time. Like, in order to be at -7, that's at least, well, I guess you can run backwards a little bit, but it's probably 2 or 3 passes, and then you could get that back in one pass. Like that, your offense has to be your offense is not stalling at that point. Your offense is like in a junkyard sinking into the ground.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't. I don't know what Sean Payton is doing over there. But hey, guess who's happy about it? This Chiefs fan.
the AFC West.
Yeah, exactly. So we're definitely going with Raiders here. Especially, I mean, even though they're in upheaval in their own right with DA leaving them.
I mean, Papa Price. I mean, you can't face Papa Price after picking the Broncos. So I feel you.
So who you going with?
I'm going with the Bo Nix.
Oh, really? You think it's going to be better?
I think their defense is good.
Yeah.
And it does seem like the defensive line can get pressure. Zach Allen's having a really good season. Obviously, Surtain's a stud back there. So,
yeah.
I think the Bo Nix offensive stuff can get better than it was last week, and I think the baseline for what it needs to be is pretty low. So, and some of the run game stuff, I think it can get better as well. And plus, the Raiders are already going to be down Devontae Adams, and they're going to be potentially down Max Crosby as well too. I think I saw he might be questionable.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know if I don't know if it's with a trade request, but regardless, he might not be playing.
Well, quick aside, I mean, what are some legitimate areas you can see Devontae Adams going to? Like, I don't see him coming to the Chiefs. I want him to come, but I don't know. I mean, he just posted a picture of Edgar Allan Poe. So, like, if you know, you know. I mean, it sounds like maybe him going to the Raiders, I guess.
Ravens?
With Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, because that's what the Ravens are named after. Some Edgar Allan Poe thing. But, I don't know. There people were talking to him on the Jets before the season even started. Um, who knows? I mean, the Jets and the Saints, I guess, are on the top of his wish list according to Shefty. For obvious reasons.
The
Do
Saints?
you think? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was about to say.
These players, man, they request trades. They like, I want to go to good situations, and they put these teams on their list. That's like, what are you doing, bro? The Saints?
And
Like,
it's
do you
crazy to
watch
think
football?
that he would again go to his former teammate, who it didn't quite work out. I mean, I guess when he came to the Raiders, he came to play with his former college teammate.
Like it's 2024. Nobody cares like what you. Nobody actually cares what you do. Like just tell the
Yeah.
people what you're doing. Like we can see what you're doing, bro. Like
It's like, oh, whoa, he was so cool. It's so mythical. You knew he's doing the thing.
oh yeah, the Jets are just randomly a good team that you just want to go to.
Would you be mad if he came to the Colts?
What are we giving up? Picks?
Yeah. Picks and Michael Pittman.
Pittman and picks?
Yeah.
I'm DMing Ballard and telling him to undo the trade.
Wow. Pittman and picks. So is Pittman untouchable?
Well, he's not untouchable, but you can't do Pittman and picks for Devontae Adams. And
Yeah.
Pittman, I take that back. Of course you're untouchable. Pause, but I mean, it's that's a little bit too much. Is there a
I'm dead.
1v1 thing that you could talk yourself into? But
Maybe.
I think if Richardson was more advanced, then maybe. But I don't know why you would do that in general. I think Pittman's the
Yeah.
best fisherman in the league. Why would you trade him?
Mm. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. There's obviously been Chiefs talk, but I think he'll probably go to the Jets or the Ravens, which would be crazy if he went to the Ravens.
The Ravens, honestly, that does seem like a good outcome because that really gives
Yeah, it makes
Lamar
sense.
a weapon that he's never had and just like a legacy check mark to like
Yeah.
now if there's stuff that happens in the playoffs, it's like there's excuses that can be checked off now.
Yeah.
And obviously we want to see the results checked off and not the excuses, but if we have to get one, at least we can check some excuses
Yeah,
off.
one of them. That's true. That's true. Next, Cardinals coming to the Bay, Santa Clara. Kyler Murray, again, like we mentioned, rough game last week. 49ers, I'm trying to remember the result. Oh, yeah, they had a pretty easy game against the Pats. Nothing crazy. Do you think this McCaffrey thing is going to have long-term effects? Like, I think we talked about this already, maybe, but
Yeah, I think the way Purdy is playing this year is more important long-term for this team. Like,
yeah, and we
having a
mentioned Jordan
quarterback.
Mason. I mean, I guess there's also Raheem Mostert. Is this just like,
Mostert's on
the
the Dolphins.
team? No, but when he was on the team,
Oh, I was gonna
and
say I
like then
know
they
that
had
because
Trey Sermon and stuff. Like this is a team that it doesn't matter who's back there, kind of like as long as you can run fast and understand the play, like and find a hole every once in a while. Like it feels like it's a team that you're just gonna get your stats up on, like the Cowboys were for a couple of years there, where it went from DeMarco someone to Tony Pollard and then Ezekiel Elliott, and it was just the O line was so good.
yeah, I think Shanahan could teach us all how to find a hole every once in a while. But I got a little salty when you mentioned Mostert because I drafted him too high in fantasy, so
Yikes.
I know he's on the Dolphins.
He is, yeah.
And
But
he's
no,
on
I
my
was talking
bench,
about his glory years.
not playing.
Yikes. I'm surprised he didn't play him. Is he getting points, though? Because they have the backup in.
No, he's DMP'd the last 3 games.
Sheesh. Is A-Chain still in?
I think he might be in and out as well. Luckily, I took Pollard in the next round, and that kind of made up for it.
Yeah.
That was a bad pick.
Yikes. But who do you have in this game? Cardinals at the 49ers?
Niners.
Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Yeah, no, I have a lot of people trying to convert me to be a Niner here, but it ain't happening.
What? You're like, we just beat them in the Super Bowl. That's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, like I kind of, for some reason, I just don't feel the need to jump ship.
You're almost to the point where you can like cheer for the Niners in almost like a, not like a disgraceful way, but like a where you almost are looking down on them a little bit because you've beaten them in the Super Bowl now a couple. There's like no threat of the Niners to the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Like that's been neutralized. So you can root for them in good faith, knowing that like they've done nothing to stop this run so far. Like they don't want you rooting for this team. They want you to hate the Niners.
No, they do. They want me like completely mad, but they're like, like our little brother, like our baby brother. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are like our little brothers. They could actually beat us, but
that's gonna be gross. You in Niners gear.
Gross what?
That's gonna be gross if you ever just pull up in like Niners gear at some point.
No, I'd never do that.
Wearing a Niners hat. Do you
I had to wear a Raiders jersey at my church for fantasy football punishment. I got like last by a lot. But
wait, you did
so
this
far
already?
This season I've been chugging along. What was it?
You did this already?
Yeah.
Did you have to like go out in it or like post something in it or what?
No, I was at my church, but like everyone
you just had to go to
and
church
I lost
in a
the
Raiders
church
jersey?
league. Yeah. No, I lost the church league. So.
Whose jersey did you get?
It was a friend. It was someone. Oh, Mark. He's been on the pod.
But like which player?
Oh, it was Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, a legacy player. That's a good move.
Yeah, they gave me a good player. They didn't do me.
And
I'll give it to him.
And it's not like he's necessarily known for his Raiders run.
Yeah.
Not the first thing you bring up in the Marshawn Lynch sentence. So it's not like he, killed the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. No, but definitely missed from the game.
Do you own any jerseys from other teams?
Yeah, I own some jerseys. Not football ones, but I owned like basketball, soccer. I have a couple.
But you don't have
ones.
A basketball team, so you have soccer jerseys from other teams?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
like Messi?
like Liverpool. No.
Liverpool.
Yeah, they're my favorite non-Chelsea team.
Can you say that on the live? Is the chat gonna get chat? Are you?
I watch them too, but it's because of FIFA. Like I love playing with them.
I don't know what the rivalries are,
but Salah, like they're super fast, super fun. FIFA, if you know, you know. But shout out Chelsea though. Our ratings are gonna be up soon. Our best player Cole Palmer scored 4 goals in our last game.
Whoa.
Chelsea's on fire right now. We're right up with the big boys again. We're right in the top 4, top 5 players, our teams. So
4 in
it's
one
good
game.
To be good again. Yeah,
Has Allen done that?
Yeah, I mean he won the treble. I mean his coach Guardiola. So we hired like the guy. Like there was one dude who was helped coach like his B team, helped coach him a bit. So we stole him. Kind of like the coaching tree thing, like Matt LaFleur for Kyle Shanahan. We like hired him. So now we're kind of, and then the cap guy for the Timberwolves, we also stole him for Chelsea, like soccer. So
a cross-sport hire. I always love it when that happens.
Yeah, so the Timberwolves cap guy, we stole him, and then a couple days later they trade Cat. Who knows why? We might quickly touch on that. But finishing real quick here, Giants at Seahawks. I don't know. I mean, do you see any high hope for the Giants in this game on the road in Seattle?
How much will Seattle win by? Is that our prediction instead?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Will Seattle win by 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns. I don't know.
What's the alternate? Let's see how high up we can bet the alternate spread and feel good about this.
Alt spread on the.
Because the Seahawks are like, is Geno like a top 5 quarterback this year? Is the top 5 quarterbacks in the league just Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Pat Mahomes, and Jaden Daniels? And Richardson?
Who's the 5th? And Richardson? Well, he's got to actually play.
And Flacco? Flacco's going to step
probably
in.
Probably Josh Allen.
Dalton? I guess if we just like look at passer rating or whatever.
Maybe.
Got to be high up there.
Dalton or Josh Allen.
So you got Dalton. You got Dalton, Sam Darnold, and I forget who the other guy was, but what was I looking at? Oh yeah, Geno Smith. Yeah, alt spread for this Seahawks game.
Yeah, he's been playing great.
Oh, FanDuel's shutting down right now. I don't know what's going on. They got no odds. That's why BetStamp.
Check BetStamp. Really quickly. Oh wait, so who do you have in this game?
Seahawks.
Giants at Seahawks. Seahawks. Yeah, me too. Probably my low-key favorite game of the week. Outside of there's actually good ones, but one of my favorites, Packers at Rams. Rams looking for revenge.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I mean, this is gonna be This is gonna be a high score Sunday night football. Oh no, it's not Sunday night football, but because it's not the Cowboys. But
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna pick the sneaky upset in this one. Give me Stafford. I'm gonna keep picking Stafford until I get one right.
That's interesting that the Packers aren't considered the upset with the quarterback with a lot less experience.
I know, it's just the Rams got beat by probably a little bit by just a team that wasn't playing well last week in the Bears.
So the highest paid player of all time is gonna lose this week, huh?
Yeah, to Stafford and McVay.
That's funny. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I really like the Packers offense, and I think I don't know. There's something about the Rams that feels fluky. Like I know they're kind of getting it done, but the margins they give themselves are pretty small. And
well,
they're
not very good, but they just have a really good quarterback and a really good coach. So I just like that most weeks.
At home doesn't really count for them because they don't have that many fans up in LA. So we'll see. We'll see. Next game we got the Steelers Cowboys at the Steelers for Sunday Night Football. I mean the Cowboys should win this. Like, is there? I don't know. You think
the Cowboys should win this?
I think. What is T.J. Watt healthy? Has he been having a season?
T.J. Watt's loaded this year.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons is out as well. The Cowboys, I think, might be the ones that are more banged up. Is this home for the Cowboys or home for the Steelers?
I think it's home. Let me see here. It's home for the Steelers. Hines.
This is in Pittsburgh. Brandon Aubrey might miss a field goal in Pittsburgh. That's a notoriously
This feels like an upset brewing.
You're picking the Cowboys?
No, Steelers.
Oh, yeah. If the Steelers are the upset, let's go with it.
Yeah. No, I think the Steelers are gonna get it done. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll back you on that one.
Yeah.
I like the Steelers.
Yeah. Speaking of Sunday Night Football, I wish Likely played as well as he did his first week on Sunday night. But Monday Night Football, Chiefs are welcoming what was once the hottest offense in the league, the Saints. Of course, I'm picking my Chiefs here.
Are you shaking in your boots?
A little bit, yeah. We've been dealing with teams who've been underscoring, underperforming, and the Saints did last week, but they could very well bounce back. The question is can Mahomes, imagining the Chiefs at the car and Mahomes been driving, we're supposed to be a sports car, and Mahomes has been going about 60, 70, pushing what he needs to, but can this go to 100 when someone else is trying to race us on the highway?
How much does the Rashee Rice thing, it doesn't affect your expectations, but how much does it affect your mental?
Yeah. No, it matters. I mean, and especially because it was done by Mahomes. And yeah, he didn't mean to, obviously, but it does matter. I don't know. I mean, Kelsey obviously
get the side eye.
Kelsey obviously needs to step up. We need like Kelsey of old, like some real production and not this fake stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Do you think this is it? You think the Saints? If I wasn't a fan, I would pick the Saints though. Objectively, I'd pick the Saints.
Does Taylor Swift root for the Saints?
Nope.
Well, then the refs are going to call it for the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs, baby.
Go Chiefs. Do you think they're going to be more undefeated? Did we pick against the Vikings this week? Are the Vikings? Yeah.
We both picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Maybe,
you think they're both going to be 5-0? I don't see why not.
Yeah, that'll be too. I don't know. I mean, imagine Aaron Rodgers just goes back into the fountain of youth and looks like his last MVP.
Could both of these teams be like 8-0 at some point? 7-0?
That'd be crazy.
I mean, if two teams being 7-0, that's not brand new.
Yeah. Let's see. The Vikings, they got to also play. You remember, it's just crazy. The last year, we're talking about the Vikings being 0-4, and now they're 4-0. They're also playing the Lions, Rams, Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears. Wow, Seahawks, Packers, Lions. So if they're able to beat the Lions and the Rams, then yeah, they beat the Lions and go at the Lions, or they welcome the Lions. So probably the toughest game the rest of their year is welcoming in going to LA to face the Rams. And if they're able to win that, they're pretty scotch-free for really tough games. I mean, until the end of the year, like, because then they face the Colts. You know, y'all with Joe
hey,
Flacco.
scotch free on tough games there. What? That's a tough game.
Yeah,
Colts.
Okay, and then they go to Jacksonville, where Trevor Lawrence underperforming. They go to Will Levis, probably make some meme. Go to the Bears, where Caleb Williams still running for his life. Cardinals have shown some weaknesses, and then Falcons. Like, come on, Bears, Seahawks. So I know we're just reading the schedule right now.
So that Lions game
is
going to be the game.
It's not the toughest path. What?
That Lions game is the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have like a landmine in there, like the Bengals or Chiefs or Bills or Texans. Like, they don't really have no Ravens. Like, they don't have a landmine game in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
if these teams, one of the teams go on a run,
we'll
what would have been the bet for Vikings' last undefeated team? That might have been like 40-1. I could have paid for college.
That would be it.
I could have gone.
No, for real. I mean, I think they've had the lowest winning percentage odds to be 4-0 ever. I'm pretty sure. I've never seen
really?
that. Like what Vegas had for their winning percentage. Yeah.
Wow.
They had the lowest odds to be 4-0.
It might have been 100-1.
Shoot, it was something crazy.
So maybe the move is next year in the offseason, just bet all of the teams who will be last undefeated team.
Maybe
we'll make money that way.
Some way. Also, starting out preseason NBA, the Celtics played the Nuggets today, and you were watching a little bit. Anything of note? I don't know. Peyton Pritchard had a game.
No, I literally turned on in the fourth quarter, and Neemias Quinta was in. And,
oh my gosh! Well, congrats to you for being able to say the name. Clap it up. Like
I probably shouldn't have.
You're able to name someone. We haven't given our reactions to the Cat trade. The Timberwolves trade Cat for Dante DiVincenzo, a couple picks. Nova's Knicks are already broken up, and I don't know, Rem. I mean, is this like are the Timberwolves? Is this huge? Like, can they not make the conference finals again with this kind of team? Because man, does the shooting look bad once you take out Cat.
I know Tim Conley is probably the smartest guy in the room here and knows what he's doing, and it's probably the right move, but
is it?
I don't know if it's a move that I would have made. And honestly, the more I look at it for the Knicks, one of the only things I really think about it is like, why didn't they do this sooner? And I know that, maybe they could have, well, I guess they couldn't have brought Hartenstein back, but there's like, maybe they go out and get a different center in the offseason, and this is where they ended up laying was with realizing that they could finally get Cat. But I think they need a center. His shooting is going to be good, and maybe he's defensively not what you want from a 5 at this point in the league, but
yeah.
If you're going to make a title run as a team, you're going to need a certain amount of chemistry, and you can't make a trade in the middle of the season and then bring in a major piece and try to win the title. It's just going to be too hard. So the fact that they did it in the offseason, they're at least going to get 82 games under their belt. Maybe not a training camp or whatever, but at least a 82-game regular season to build that chemistry. I think making the swing for the talented player, I think doing it in the offseason is the right move. So I actually really like for this move for the Knicks. And again, I don't want to just criticize Tim Conley because he gets the benefit of the doubt at this point for making a lot of good moves. But I just, at this point, I do, like I say, like it more for the Knicks.
I mean, no, definitely. And I mean, you do look at Cat's contract, and it does kind of explode. I mean, wasn't this the year that it started his extension that he got 2 years ago, that 4-year?
But the Knicks are the one team that makes it's weird for this because Brunson's taking the pay cut.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's mostly to help him win because, I mean, thank God they finally realized they couldn't do anything with Randall. And I don't know why the Timberwolves wanted to take him. They're probably hoping to be able to flip him. Like you mentioned, Connolly's the head of the room, smartest in the room. But, I mean, Cat, he's going to be earning 49, 53, 57, and then 61 million the next 4 years. So, I mean, they're doing probably the math with Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels to pay him, but I don't know. I just feel like you keep them. I mean, so right now their starting lineup looks like Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. I mean, I guess you could put Nas Reed instead of Julius Randle, put Randle on the bench. So you have a little bit more shooting, and then you have Nikhil Alexander, Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham, and Julius Randle. Maybe get Luka Garza more minutes. I mean, they could definitely make it work, but can Nas Reed really fill those cat minutes?
Well, I think he will, but like who's gonna fill the Nas Reed minutes? Like, I guess it would be Randall, but I don't know the team that they have.
Luka?
A deep team. Yeah. Maybe we just buy it on Garza? I'm down.
Garza, the Iowa guy.
Per 36 numbers are legit.
It's crazy, but there's no way we can all agree. There's no way they can play Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert on the court at the same time. Like,
well, I think they will.
That's untenable. They just both would kill the spacing, and like Anthony Edwards.
So they can never play those two guys together. Then the team's gonna. I mean, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I guess we could watch it right now. The Timberwolves are playing the Lakers. Oh, is Bronny in?
Ooh, do I switch the WNBA playoffs for Bronny? If the Aces put this game away, then maybe. But I mean, no, I agree with you. It's not an ideal matchup, but I guess from my perspective of did they win this trade? Like, if you bring in a guy that you cannot play with one of your other guys, that's crazy. I guess does he think he's gonna move Gobert?
He has to. I don't know. I mean, they did win a playoff game off of a Gobert step back, but
that's true. Maybe the Gobert playmaking takes a step up this year.
Who knows? I mean, Gobert can't shoot to save his life, but yeah, I don't know.
Wait, is your mic unplugged?
Of course, LeBron's not playing.
Is your mic unplugged? Quick, we can't hear you.
Saying, of course, LeBron's not playing. I don't see Anthony Edwards out there either. And it's the first quarter, so yeah, it looks like Ant's not playing either. So, as usual, there's someone I was talking to about like going to a preseason game, and it was like Lakers Warriors, and I'm like, none of them are gonna play. Like, let's be real, like they barely play as is.
Did you see the report that the Warriors wanted to draft Bronny?
But out of respect, didn't get LeBron. You see, those are the stuff. Shout out Ryan Russillo, because he's one of the people who picks up on stuff like that. Oh, Bronny trying to take it to the. Is that Bronny? I don't think it was Bronny.
Maxwell Lewis?
Maybe. But shout out Ryan Russillo for being one of those people who points stuff out. Like, that was nonsense. There's no way they thought about it. They just want to put the report out there to make LeBron feel good, so maybe they can trade for him so they can get him later. Like, there's no shot the Warriors actually were going to draft him. They just put that report out there so they can get him in on their team. Like, it's dumb stuff like that.
I'm selfish. I thought that I saw that and went, hey, look at that. There's other people out there that like Bronny too.
That's funny. I mean, maybe they're trying to help up his, as a favor to him. They up his value. Be like, hey, look, it wasn't just dumb. But I did think it was interesting. They played all the real starters for Nuggets Celtics. That's kind of crazy.
Well, Abu Dhabi, got to showcase.
Yeah. They said, hey, you guys are paying for it.
How many minutes did Jokic get?
I think it was like 10 or 14. He had 14, 9, and 8 or something like that.
Jeez, in 10 minutes in Abu Dhabi?
Let me see. It wasn't. He had a decent stat line.
The Aces go up by double digits.
Oh, shout out.
The season might still be alive.
Jokic played 17 minutes. He had 14, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Gun to the head. Who are you taking in the NBA Finals? Especially now with no life on the line, death beam pointed at Earth.
The aliens.
Finals picks?
The aliens have invaded. The Martians are here. The death beam is pointed at Earth.
Yeah.
Give me Wembanyama. No.
Really?
Let's go.
I mean, are we running it back?
Do I want to? I feel like I don't have as good of a gauge on the Eastern Conference as I do of the West. Just because.
I think the opposite. I feel the opposite, honestly.
Well, that's because you're a Celtics fan.
Okay, I don't know about all that.
You're a Tatum fan. And you're looking at the Eastern Conference, and I'm a Spurs fan, and I'm looking at the Western Conference. Here, I just want to see the East teams real quick.
Yeah, let me look at the teams real quick. I definitely think
I
the
know who I'm picking
Celtics
out of the
are
West.
gonna run
At
it
this
back.
point, I know who I'll pick. But
I mean, Paul George and Joel Embiid have kind of been the giant no one's talked about in a while. Like, it's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to. The Grizzlies? You think they can make a run? Healthy?
ooh,
I would go. I would say probably OKC. OKC Celtics.
no, I
Celtics
don't
in
think the
like
Grizzlies can
6.
make a run.
Yeah, I'm gonna go OKC Celtics. Celtics in 6. Throwing it out there. If PJ Washington didn't go crazy, didn't literally turn into the greatest shooter of all time, they would have been in the conference finals, and I think they probably would have beaten the Mavs because they would have had the defenders to keep up with them, and they would have exposed Derek Lively, and they wouldn't have issues like Rudy Gobert on their team. They would have been able to space him out. It would have been killer with Derek Lively on the team. They would have been able to kill him, and I think they would have made it to the finals, and I think they would have been a much tougher test, and that international basketball helped most of that team. I mean, Chet didn't play obviously, or Jalen Williams, but I think Jalen Williams on the select team. But Shea helped Shea, and yeah, I think it's gonna be Celtics OKC.
Give me Lakers Sixers.
Wow, you really like the Sixers, huh? You actually think the Lakers are making the finals?
I'll just I was looking at Thunder Knicks. Do a little blue-orange on both sides.
Knicks?
Just for the jersey matchup, the confusing jersey matchup of that.
That'd be crazy.
But did they say the season was going to be 40 games this year? Because then the Lakers-Sixers would be a nice pick.
That's true. Yeah.
Embiid might be healthy at that point. The
think
Lakers
after
would be
40
in peak powers.
games, Georgie's going to have to carry the...
Let's not forget the Lakers also drafted Dalton Connect. He might put up 12 points a game this year.
No,
they could use it.
I think the Grizzlies are honestly the scariest team that...
Yeah, but is Edie going to pull it together enough this year to make a finals run?
Maybe. Big dude. What's the ceiling on your team? Chris Paul now? Like, could you see yourself as a like actual fanatical fan, homer? What's the highest seed you could see? Like, you've had 3 drinks and you're like, we could do the...
Oh, you want the ceiling with 3 drinks in me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, I could go.
You could win a playoff series.
I don't know if I'm getting too crazy after 3 drinks, but if we do a case race and then you ask me about, no, I'm not a case race guy either. But if there's like a shot or 2 in there,
yeah.
Then, well, okay, 3 drinks. Okay, a reasonable 3 drinks is. We're the 8 seed. No, we're the 9 seed.
Oh, wow.
I'd talk myself down a little bit. These 3 drinks, it's like the 8 seed. If I take a couple of shots, then we're in the 6 seed. We don't even need the playing game.
Okay, so you think you can just barely escape the playing game? Like, that's the...
Wembanyama scores 30 a game and just... We win like 12 games in a row at some point because Wembanyama's awesome and there's like some scheduling stuff. People are avoiding him.
That's
guys
hilarious.
are like sitting out.
Okay.
But
no,
no,
that's crazy.
I mean, with Chris Paul, Wemby, and Vassell, if Vassell's going to miss the start of the year. But with Wemby and Chris Paul, I don't know. We could be the 9 or the 10 seed.
Okay.
I don't think that's unreasonable, right?
No, that's not unreasonable. I think in a 1-game playing thing, I think you can beat the Lakers.
I don't know, man. I'm not ready to bet against LeBron at this point, even with Wembanyama.
He said, "I'm not going that far." Whoa. You can dream. You gotta dream. A dream is a dream. That's just funny. I don't. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, you need more than just Chris Paul, and it'll be interesting to see how many games Chris Paul actually plays. But yeah, we'll have to see about that.
But Maxey can be. But I mean, if Maxey goes up a level for the Sixers, then I don't know if there needs to. If there was gonna be like who's the one, just maybe not obvious. Fine, I guess they're kind of a. Are they a tier 2 tier 1 or tier 2 finals contender for you, the Sixers?
The Sixers,
Are they like definitely a contender, or are they kind of almost there?
The point is, the whole conversation doesn't matter if Joel Embiid's hurt, and he's never been healthy. He's never been healthy in the playoffs. He just hasn't been healthy. It's just a flat out fact. So once he gets healthy, I think you can have a conversation. There are a serious contender because Tyrese Maxey, another year of him developing. Now his braids are out of his face so he can see the floor. Like that's what he said. His fake hair was in the way. Then you have Paul George and Joel Embiid. That's a decent big three. Like that's a legit three players who can score and hopefully work together. We're always seeing Tyrese and Joel work, and I think Paul George can definitely fit into there, the kind of play style he has. But yeah, Joel has to be healthy. He just has to be, and he isn't. Every year he's hurt, and he didn't rest this off season. He was playing, so that's just more miles, and we'll see.
Maxey's going to be on All NBA this year. Lock it in.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Pura Vida and BETSTAMP, our sponsors. Quick, UFA wanted to do some shout outs. Shout out Jeff Babbitt, back-to-back MVP for the Ultimate Frisbee Association. Let's see. Of course, Jeff Babbitt is our guy. Some wind chill players got all teams second and third team. Luke Ambrose, who we were talking about, was defensive player of the year. I think he was unanimous defensive all team first team. And then someone who I used to play with, Iowa State alum, Mitchell McCarthy, got a second team all defense. I don't think Wettengale got a shout out, sadly.
We'll give him one. Shout out Wettengale.
Shout out Wettengale, of course. Shout out Tobe Decanray from overseas. Belgian player got Rookie of the Year this year. The game is growing. And also, Detroit Mechanics won their first game after 5 years, and they got a team all rookie, Jake Felton. So they're turning around themselves.
Are the Mechanics finally rebuilding? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. After so long, they're finally turning it around. Let me see if he got an all mention. No, he did not get an all mention. So we're just letting Wettengale go, get back in the gym.
Yeah, it's just
get back working. Tobias Brooks got a all third team. He got an all honorable mention for all UFA.
Normally, we put up bulletin board material for guys, but in Wettengale's case, we go, look at this. There is no bulletin board material. Let's do something about it.
Yeah, let's do something. But also that Iowa State alum, Mitchell McCarthy, also got first runner-up for most improved player. So,
whoa.
Yeah, Madison Radicals, they really took it to Minnesota Wind Chill. I think that was their closest game, honestly. And
the Wind Chill?
No, that was against Chicago. That was their closest game, and they beat them. Got stomped by the Wind Chill. But Mitchell McCarthy, real Des Moines Ultimate Team demo alum. They're really good. Or they were really good at one point, but he's a baller, and now he's balling up. And was on the team that was like a game away from going to nationals for a club. Sadly, our division only gets one bid to nationals, and he was like a point or two away from getting to nationals with that team. So anyway. But anyway, I know Rem will keep chugging along here on the live. I have to go, but
we've got fourth quarter of this Aces Liberty game.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere,
around.
chat. If you're on the Instagram,
anywhere.
Jump over to the YouTube. We're at Rem and Sam Podcast. The game is in a timeout, so we'll just take a quick break to get Sam out of the Zoom, and then we'll be right back.
We'll
Sam,
be right back.
It's
Good
always a
seeing
pleasure,
you.
brother.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in a break. 3, 2, 1. We're back, people. Sorry, we've got to fix the stream here. This is so unprofessional, people. Our camera's out of place. We're so sorry, but we can take the time to adjust this because the Aces are killing the Liberty. It feels good. I don't know if this is something that we can look and say, sorry, we just have to check for the professionalism. We want the stream to look good. So we're locked in. Thank you guys for jumping on if you're still here. If you're here from the Instagram and you were following us over there, is Billy Buckets jumping over from the Instagram to the YouTube? We'll see if we can convert him over at some point. But, man, 21 points. It's 80-59 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Exciting times as well, too, in the Rem and Sam podcast. Big things in the works. But in for the layup. Make it 23. And again, like we're saying, no team in WNBA history has ever come back from a 0-2 deficit. And at one point, it was like that for the NBA. And who was the first person to do it? It was LeBron. It was Kyrie. And it was against a juggernaut team as well, too. That's the thing about the upset was, I guess the Draymond suspension can't be overlooked in there. But it's not like a team. They didn't just drop, but it's not like a team. We're talking about a historic team, an all-time team, all-time great players. This Liberty team, I guess I don't know where their regular season record stacks up with the all-time records the same. I mean, again, that Warriors team had the best regular season record of all time. But this is a dominant regular season team, and we know the pedigree of the Aces the same way the Cavs did. Not a championship with that team, but LeBron, a championship player. So if there was ever a team, you would never say the Liberty would let a team come back from 2-0. How do you beat the Liberty 3 times in a row? But if you flip the coin the other way and go, is there a team capable of making the 3-0 comeback? The Aces would be that team. What do you all-time legacy player? Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum playing well tonight. Jackie Wilson, she was playing well in the last game too, and I know the Liberty pulled away in the fourth quarter, and they're going to go back to New York for the next game. Home court might be a big thing for this series, obviously, with the way the Aces played tonight. Or do they go 2-2 in the WNBA? Let's pull up the schedule here for game 4, which will be Sunday night, if necessary, in Las Vegas. Wow, so back-to-back. So they get the 2 and the 2, and then the deciding game 5 potentially is at home. That's kind of, I guess, at the end of the day, it's 3-4 in the NBA. It's only one game off there as well, too, but kind of nice to just have that one extra travel out there. And we know they're struggling right now to shave regular season games. They would definitely never take off playoff games, and we wouldn't want them to. We want, as much good high-level playoff basketball as possible. But if home court is a real decider in this series, then, man, it just being that really ups the chances of it being tied 2-2. And if it's tied 2-2, now we're talking about Asia Wilson and this Aces team in a one-game scenario. And yes, we're talking about Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart on the other side in a one-game scenario as well, too. But we're saying the path is there tonight after keeping their hopes alive. And this is the most impressive performance of the series so far of the 3 games. So that has to count for something. And I don't know if the Aces have a higher peak than the Liberty as well, which, as I say that is a bummer to realize and maybe just crushes my hopes for the comeback in general. But the championship pedigree that the team can kind of dig into, is that enough to fall back on and win three games in a row against this Liberty team? But at least for the pride of it, and just not getting swept, giving the fans some hope, making it a series, helping the product. And they were talking about the state of where these players were at, mentally, but like off the court as well too, and maybe how that has kind of, and not in a bad way, but maybe some of the good stuff off the court has affected some of the on the court stuff, and just to see them lock back in and to know that performance is obviously, it's like, yeah, they're great players. Obviously that performance is still in there, but to see that this year and to see it against this Liberty team is still, I mean, yeah, Kelsey Plum with the defense on Sabrina, Jackie Young too. So just an individual, commitment to being better in this game, which again was kind of part of the reason why there was some regular season stuff with this team, along with some injuries. And I know they've made some they've done some lineup stuff, but Chelsea Gray has looked brilliant tonight as well. They're at 84 on the game. I feel like, is that just the big four? Wilson, Plum, Gray, and who do we leave out there? Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. Jackie Young, back-to-back buckets. Her finding that consistency and finding her shot and her aggressiveness again can't be undervalued. Chat, tell us what your picks are as well, too. We just finished up the picks if you guys are just jumping in. We can't flip the thumbnail over. Should we flip the thumbnail over to a watch party? IT, can we get that cooked up? We'll see what we can work on, but drop your picks as well. So at this point, are we getting into how long do you play the starters territory? There's 5 minutes left. 5.5 almost. It's 25. If this gets to 30, I mean, at this point in the fourth, you just want to stay healthy. Jonquil Jones drawing fouls. Slowing the game down. Let him take the twos. No, you still got to lock in at this point. You can't give anything up, but pedal to the metal. We're in playoff basketball. Don't listen to me. Don't give up. Keep him in the whole game. Tom Thibodeau. As a punishment for going down 0-2, you have to play the whole game. So 2 series at 2-1 potentially, obviously, if the Aces really hold, if the Aces don't blow it at all. Pause. They hold out. 2 series at 2-1. Chat, which series is more likely to have the comeback? Is it the Connecticut Sun down 2-1 versus the Link, or the Aces down 2-1 versus the Liberty? And not that the Connecticut Sun were down 0-2. They were actually up 1-0 on the series, if I remember correctly. But it does seem like that series is more likely. Maybe that's implied by the way the series got to the 2-1 score, compared to one team getting swept. But, and I don't know if I would pick the Sun over the Aces, but I do feel a little bit more confident about their chances. Should we go background mode real quick? Even if it is a blowout, and even if we did wait too long and not think of this till the end of the game. Well, it's a watch party. We still got to throw it up. Did we actually hit all the games this week too? I think we actually did get all the picks. We are notorious for leaving out picks in the picks draft, which is one of the reasons why we struggle to do it. Nobody on the verge of putting up 30, but that's honestly good. The balance is better. You want the balance versus the, because we thought for a second it was going to be, is just Asia Wilson going to have to take over, throw the team on her back. Not that that is a bad place to be in, of course, but team basketball at the end of the day is what wins the championship. Okay, switching to background mode as we go to timeout. Sorry, people. And we're back in. And look at that. Beautiful. We just really wanted to display the score. And again, the camera's off. What is up with this today, people? IT, did somebody mess with the settings? I think our Zoom display might be a little bit different than normal. Throwing us off. Again, our apologies to those who really judge harshly on how the graphics are all put together, which is us. But we really just needed to display the fact that the Aces were up 20 and feel good about it. Because again, the Liberty might just put the Liberty might just be, screw this. We've seen enough. Sabrina's going to go crazy. Brianna Stewart's going to be draining threes. That's when you know you're in trouble. And they're just going to close them out. Win the series 3-1. Go, wait a second, what were you guys thinking? We're the better team. Because like we were saying with the Chiefs, and I still think that that's absolutely true, that the level of competitiveness that we were seeing from the Liberty against the Aces, it was very similar to what we were seeing from the Timberwolves against the Nuggets, in the NBA playoffs. And that's another perfect parallel. Like, I don't know if I've seen a team with the hunger that the Timberwolves had in that revenge factor against the Nuggets. So, again, we were talking about the Texans as well, too, but the Ravens literally were the team that, lost the AFC Championship game, got eliminated. I mean, several teams got eliminated by the Chiefs, but the Ravens were the closest. The Ravens had the ball with a chance to win. And with Lamar and where he's at, that just the start that they, and it's early in the season. We get with the preseason stuff and the training camp stuff. It takes a while to clean this stuff up, and we're just, this is the season that we have to talk about so far as well too. So I hate that sometimes it's like, wait, we can't talk about the early part of the season. This is all that we've watched. So, I mean, when we watch more of it and stuff changes, we'll talk about that too. Like, let's, play out. But can we talk about it while it plays out as well? Floyd Mayweather sidelined at a WNBA game. Celebrity row courtside draft. Do we need to do a draft where we draft celebrities we want courtside? Is that Shador? Those would be two guys on my board for sure. That'd be fun to have at the game. Celebrities we'd want courtside at a game if we were playing. IT, write that down. It's a good idea. Chat. It's ours. You heard it. We call dibs. Ace is about to call dibs on game 3. John Quill Jones still barrel into the basket with 3.5 minutes left, down 21. It doesn't matter the score. Honestly, it needs to be investigated at this point. Lowering the shoulder down 21, is there a bounty? I guess we're live. Do we need to be more careful about throwing out accusations? Potentially. But also, we call it how we see it. Now Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum go to the bench. The high fives all around. The crowd is on their feet. You love to see it. This is the victory formation in the NBA. The sub out is the victory for. It's taking a knee. And this is honestly good. Let's get some run with the bench. Let's get Jackie Wilson with the, or Jackie Young, sorry, with the, excuse me. Jackie Young with a little bit more, you know, responsibility. Oh, they're about to sub her out too. Yeah, they're subbing everybody out. Are we going to get a Kate Martin appearance? The Iowa rookies taking over the league? Do we adjust the hood? Do we need to get the Rem and Sam makeup here? Wardrobe? Get us looking straight. Let's see if we get early odds on Game 4 for the WNBA. If FanDuel was doing what it was earlier, looked more like they were taking the odds down. Not really. The Aces, though, 5-1 to win the title as of right now. Potentially down 2-1 in a series. The Connecticut Sun are 12-1 to win the titles. So that would mean they would have to not just win this series, but obviously beat the team, which is still very much looking like the Liberty. And I think the Liberty are kind of a tough matchup for the Sun. I mean, obviously they're a tough matchup for everybody, but that front court size could be an issue. Carrington is such a gamer, and she seems to always show up in big moments. We should have been paying more attention to the fourth quarter. Chat, remind us if she did a good job in the fourth quarter. We'll go back and watch the tape. This is great. We get to learn some new faces. Some exposure. Was that Sabrina? We're watching a small screen, people, so that doesn't help. If they have a Sabrina clone, they have their version of Sabrina off the bench. Whoever it was just came in and hit some transition three. And Gustafson, I mean, they're just baiting Caitlin Clark to play for this team. Not that she even played with, she did play with Kate Martin, but the Aces with the eye for the Iowa talent. Megan Gustafson, obviously, National Player of the Year. Doing it before Caitlin Clark. In the Caitlin Clark documentary, there should be a little couple minutes. Just a quick sidebar about Megan Gustafson. 30 seconds. Just like mention it, show a picture, like, you know, moving across the screen, some animated picture and a highlight. Maybe a couple clips from her throughout and call it a day, but tearing up the Big Ten beforehand. And what I was going to say, what would you give up to get Caitlin Clark? But is there a trade package that you could get for Caitlin Clark? Because, I mean, we know, and you know, it is what it is, chat, but we know that you're just getting more than a basketball player with Caitlin Clark. And that probably has to, you know, that has to be reflected in basketball value. That's the only other way. I guess you could actually send cash as well, too. But in terms of having a product on the floor that's going to generate the revenue long-term that Caitlin Clark would versus just sending cash considerations, you would need to make that up in basketball assets. So I don't even know if, and just, you know, like timeline-wise, chat, don't get mad at us for throwing out fake trades. We're just sitting here late in the stream and late in a blowout game and just having a good time chatting it up. But, and, you know, just talking about the value of players, but like you're not, you know, Kelsey Plum for a Caitlin Clark or something like that. Jackie Young for Caitlin Clark. Like, you know, both of them together is too much, but each of them individually with some picks. Like if you're doing you would be bringing in a veteran person to go, hey, we need to speed up the timeline and win now. But the Fever are in a rebuild. So, you know, having a young point guard obviously makes sense. If you're in a rebuild, you know, it makes sense that you're doing it around the generational talent. 19 from Stewart tonight for the Liberty after 30 in game 1. So she is due for a game, and the fact that she's due for a game in a, I don't know, don't cancel us for saying that. We're just saying that in basketball terms. She's due for a game is, and the fact that that is in the closeout game approaching again is very scary. Incredible job. 40 seconds as this winds down. Can we get a Gustafson post up here? You gotta love a pick and roll to nobody. The pass. Blind. Leave throwing it away. Careful, Chad. Okay, there's no reason to foul. The Liberty player drove in to take the shot, and then the Aces player was going to be like aggressive on the offensive rebound, like pressing. But, I mean, the Liberty are still trying to put up points and score. The bench are getting their shots. They'll dribble the ball out. That'll do it. The Aces will live to see another day. The series goes on. There's still hope. They dominate. And they're all business. They know that this is just the start. 12th straight home playoff win. So they're a different beast at home. And again, the only goal for game 4 is get it to 2-2. That is it. Just win game. That's the only goal for game 4 is just win game 4. There's no, we lost the first 2. There's no, we were just coming off a win. There's no, we have to win 2 more, and there's another one after this, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, oh, man, now there's another series, and the defense. There's none of that. Game 4 is the only thing that matters. And if they win game 4, the series is tied. Anything can happen, and you have the best player in the best player in American basketball? I still stand by it. Shout out Asia Wilson. And you have her in a 1-game elimination totally locked in. 8 for 14 tonight. 14 rebounds, 19 points. They didn't even need her to get to 20 because Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum are doing that. Let's see what they were doing from the shooting standpoint. Kelsey Plum, 7 of 11 for the field. And Jackie Young, 10 of 18. So I know, you know, they get held to a high standard, obviously, because they're great players. And they've set that bar high for themselves. And this is the exact kind of performances that we were needing to see from them in this series. And it's incredible that they got it tonight. 20 points from both the players we just mentioned. Asia Wilson almost there. Chelsea Gray, 7 assists. Tiffany Hayes off the bench, 11 points. Back contributing. I mean, you can see it's playoff basketball. The rotations have tightened. It's basically down to just Tiffany Hayes. And it's going to be a brutal series. Tiffany Hayes and, is it Alicia Clark? Yeah, I think it is. Chat, sorry if we're not saying that right. But, oh, do they have pronunciation on here? No way. Wait a second. We have to close out the game so we can get the pronunciation. We have to get the app? Oh, I spammed it. Wait. There's like a 3-second delay from when you press the button to when you get the name. But this is an amazing feature. Alicia Clark. This is actually incredible because I'm so bad at saying names. The best way to say a name is to, like, hear somebody. The best name, and you can get the pronunciations on. I need to hear somebody else say it. And you can look up clips and interviews and stuff, and it's like, sometimes you're just like, why are they not saying the name? Or Clark or whatever. Or, you know, we're so glad to be joined by you if they're talking to the person, blah, blah, blah. But amazing feature. Love it. WNBA progressing in many ways. Trailblazing, leading the way. And we love the name pronunciation being a part of it. Sabrina Ionescu, on the other hand, 4 points, 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line. We can't even criticize her because they're up 2-0 on the series. She is a big part of that, and she has been crushing it this entire playoffs. Let me just double check her playoff numbers. Again, short series here. Did she only play 2 games against the Dream? Chat, what happened in... Oh, yeah, they played best of 3 in round 1. We're slow, people. We're still learning about the WA. It's hard to remember all the stuff. So through 4 playoff games so far, through the 4 playoff games before this, she was 52, 42, 93 shooting splits, 24 points a game, 6 assists. Electric in all of these games. They were undefeated 4-0. So not only is Breanna Stewart due for, just another amazing performance again, but Sabrina was due for a down game. You get it when you're up 2-0 on the series. It's like perfect timing on that. And that's when, it's not supposed to happen, but that's when it does happen. It's inevitable. And that's when you'll definitely take it. Pause. But so Breanna Stewart was 5 for 15, 0 for 5 for 3 in the last game as well, too, with 15 points. 8 assists, though. 7 rebounds. So the playmaking up a notch, finding ways to continue to be the best player on the court, even if the shot's not going in. But 2 bad shooting games back to back. Sabrina, bad shooting game tonight. Game 4 is going to be tense. It's going to be scary. We are looking forward to it because there's a chance that we were not going to get it. But we're not looking forward to it because the nerves and the adrenaline and the tension for whether or not the season will survive will be high. Sabrina Ionescu is a scary person to root against. Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, that whole team. I mean, the Liberty, they're the number 1 team, and they are a terrifying team. Even with the pedigree and the stars and the strength of the aces, you gotta respect the Liberty. I mean, obviously, they're up 2 on the series, and Game 4 will be a slugfest. And I have hope. I have hope. Asia Wilson, let's get it done. I still believe in you. But thank you guys for jumping on the stream, for hanging in there, and for riding the rest of the game out with us. Pause. And I think we'll wrap it up there. We did the picks. We did the game. Shout out to you guys for staying tuned, for following, for just being great hangs, and for staying tuned for the whole journey. So follow Rem and Sam on Instagram, on TikTok, on on the social platforms. We're out there at Rem and Sam, at Rem and Sam Podcast. Thank you guys for listening tonight, for listening for all the episodes. And if it's your first time, thanks for jumping on as well, too. The lives aren't going anywhere. We're usually here Friday nights. We're usually here Tuesdays. And maybe over the weekend we'll jump on as well, too. Who knows what the schedule looks like? We'll do a Kendrick. We'll do a pop-out sometimes. Jump on the stream for a special event. But like I said, that'll wrap it up here. Stay tuned to the feeds for the next one, and have a good night.